Okay, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anywhere you're calling from on this call, you are welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending from any location you're joining from. Good afternoon, Fola Shode. Good afternoon, Olufonke. Good afternoon, Olowa Lase. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon as you're joining. You're welcome. Let's just give some few minutes to others, for others to join us.
Yeah, Oba. Thank you, Jesus. Good. Every time, àtìgbà tó ti ń bì yẹn, anytime tó bá ready, àwa máa sọ, my stomach is no more hurting me again. Àtìgbà tó ti ń bì yẹn, every time máa bá mi, my stomach is no more hurting me again. And I'm feeling better. I want to thank you, Jesus. Oh, no, I want to thank you, Jesus.
Gladys, good afternoon, or good morning, good evening, depending where you're joining from. All right. All right. Once again, you're welcome to Watch PIV. We are still giving some few minutes for others to join us. Please, can you confirm that you can hear me? Can you unmute your mic?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you, Mom.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's fine. Thank you so much. That's fine. Please, let's just give our trainer or facilitator some few minutes to connect with us. He's trying to join us before we kickstart. It's going to be very interesting. And I think you'll get a lot of value today before you leave this training. So let's just stay put. All right, please can you confirm you can see my screen?
Hmm?
Can you confirm you can
That
see my
what? Like to crack something. No, it doesn't start with it. Crack, crack. What does start for? Crack. C-R-A-C-K. Okay? No, this is not crack. This is egg. You crack an egg, okay? When you break an egg, you call it crack. Yes. So it's egg, okay? The egg has cracked.
Madam Fola Sade, can you unmute your mic a bit while you're training your kids? I'm enjoying your training with your kids.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry.
When you want to talk with us, you're mute. Then if you are talking to them, you mute.
I'm
There's no
so sorry.
issue.
I'm trying
Please,
to.
can you confirm to me you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Can you see my slide screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So let me check whether our facilitator has joined us. I think he's still yet to be here. Oh, people are not soon, please. We are starting soon. We shouldn't be leaving. Just that it's like our facilitator is having a big challenge, maybe with this. And he needs to be here for us to start. It's already 12 minutes after 12. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. While we're still waiting for others, I think we need to start. Let's start with just highlighting some of our new members that joined us within the week, what we are up to, who we are, what we are into, and where we are heading to. Please still confirm to me that you can see my screen and you can hear me. Just unmute yourself. Confirm to me you can see my screen. You can hear me so that I can start the introduction. While we are waiting, our facilitator is having a big challenge to join us at the moment. Can you unmute and confirm
I
again?
I can hear you and I can see the screen. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. So I will just briefly introduce to us what who we are. As you heard the name, WatchPIV is just the abbreviation of Women Global Education and Poverty Eradication Empowerment Foundation. It's a foundation and also an empowerment body that wants to empower women. It's an NGO for women to women ready to impact the world and challenge the status quo globally, not only in Nigeria. So we have our founder here, who is Mojisola Olawepo. She's also a founder of Everything on Data and a founder of WatchBeef community, which you are in right now to get training from. She is an experienced, let me say, a data. I don't know what word to give to her, but let me just read her profile. She is an expert data and business intelligence strategist with over 12 years cross-industry and cross-functional covenant experience, and passionate. Let me just increase my screen a bit. She's passing strong leadership. Let's see this very well. Please a bit. Let me just get this corrected. Okay, she possesses strong leadership, hands-on experience, and many of them, she say data analytics, business intelligence, machine learning. These are her expertise, the area she's qualified in, what she's up to. She's a strategist, data governance, data scientist. She's also a data scientist, business process improvement expert, and she also into business automation. She's automating processes, making work very easy for people, and also in cloud computing. She's also expert in that field, even in digital transformation space. She's very expert. She has much. We can't even exhaust her profile on this training alone. And follow her is our training or program director. Her name is Esther Edidi. She's also educator. In short, she's fully loaded, certified trainer, data analytics, business intelligence. Also, she has passion for NGO development across the board. So she's fully loaded. I wouldn't want to read more of the profile. Is there? We can talk one-on-one later. We have our leadership team here. The global president, that's me talking to you. Florence Pontali is my name. I hope we can still hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then follow my vice is Jen. Okay, that's the global vice president. We have with us working together, event and training lead, which is Charity Atse, and we have among us as well, mentoring lead Salma Lasisi, and they are all on this call, I believe. I think I saw Salmon here. I'm the global president talking. If Jane is not here, she'll join us shortly. It's going to be very interesting. So our favorite quote as Watch Piff Body is, make sure that what you are doing today is getting closer to where you want to be tomorrow. So whatever thing, even if a baby step, you make sure that it's getting you closer to where you want to be. Now, this is our executive summary. Time will not allow me to read all of this. We have a target segment. We have globally segment, what we want to achieve. We have in Africa, what we want to achieve globally. We want to achieve global women ambassadors. We want all our women to be ambassadors globally. Then community ambassadors. We have in Africa, that is our aim to get there. And we move to our vision. Our vision is to reimagine. What do you reimagine? Become what you want to be known for. reimagine it. When you reimagine it, you recreate it. If you have created before, you recreate it. Choose who you want to be. Yes, we need to decide what stuff we want to be made of, what the people around you want to know you for, not just a bench warmer. So we want to reinvent that thing you have recreated, or you have reimagined, or recreated. You need to reinvent or invent it. Dominate your space. Don't give chance for empty space. That's why we always say be relevant. Be relevant. It's all yours. It's all yours. You can do it. Our goals are, we are aligned to the sustainable development goals of transformational women empowerment in all the below 7 areas. You can see them here: no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, and all of the above. Just that's what we are heading to. This way we are. We are in training women. This is the level they started from, the level which people started from, maybe before some of us joined. They have series of trainings. They are aligned. I would encourage us after this training to subscribe to our YouTube channels, so that you can now be watching some of these trainings that had already been done previously. They were recorded. So they were recorded for they were recorded and they are in the channel. Now you can subscribe so that you get them if you want to learn them. There are people that came in and learned from there, and some of them they are making impact within their space. Now, where are we going to? These are the areas we are going to: building excellent capacities for women in STEM related fields. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It could also be outside this, even if you don't have knowledge on STEM. Like, personally, I don't have any background on STEM, but I'm doing something in tech. I'm making impact as well. So we have teach current soft skills and digital skills to women for relevance in business and the world at large. We're also heading to be non-stop women education, mentoring and empowerment via reach out and community programs. Not only here, even one-on-one, we are creating a forum that we can be talking to women one-on-one, creating that impact. And we are heading to that place. We must get there in a short while. We also into sustainable partnership for women to upskill and become empowered. Yes, we are also partnering to, not just that we are training, we want to train, and when people get the training, they can use it to impact their world. In doing this, the poverty we are talking about could be eradicated, and also we empower them. There may be physical things that we follow along as we progress. So that's where we are earnestly heading to be. Then how do we get there? These are the process, the steps we need to get there. We have so many partners that we have partnered with over the period. Infineon is one of them. Infineon Technology Limited, Ladies Do Tech, Everything on Data, Textilers. I think I benefited training from Textilers, where I learned Power Platform, Microsoft Power Platform, even on Everything on Data. That's where I learned my data analytics and business intelligence. So there are so many people that we are partnering, and all these trainings are free for women because we want them to become relevant. Those are the events. Please, also, after this training, we are going to drop our link on intranet, where you will link and click and join to see all of these programs that we had done, and you know more about us from that platform. So I just want to move down. These are all the trainings we have. You can see them, and these are some of the dashboard that our trainees built during the training. You can see some of them built when we had our, what do we call, let me check. Yeah, when we have this Canva training, these are the things that our people built, and many of them, I believe, they should be using it to earn some money. And some of us that have been on this platform might have maybe using one of these trainings to start something for themselves. Today, we are having our Excel Microsoft Excel Masterclass training from beginner to advanced user. So whatever level you are covered. Whatever level you are, you're covered. The person that is, let me still check if he is able to join us. Okay, you're welcome, our able facilitator, Ifeoluwa. Can you hear me? And just unmute, let us hear your voice. Our
Yes.
facilitator. Okay, you're
Yes, I
welcome.
can. Good afternoon.
Yeah, and you're seeing our screen as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So
Yes,
is
very well.
our facilitator today is going to take us on this Microsoft Excel class, master class training from beginner to advanced level. Well, what level you, I don't need to bother. Even if we are not able to cover it today, insurance covers you. We are going to move ahead. And it's working with Cloudogs Media Limited and After School Academy. Is a marketing director and lead educator. Just this is a brief profile of his. He's a passionate digital skills educator with 7 years of experience training over 1,000 youths. Imagine that an employee is on core digital skills like graphic design, digital marketing, LinkedIn profile creation and optimization, Microsoft Suite and Google Suite. He had the privilege of being trained and certified by top organizations like Microsoft, Google, eMarketing Institute, LinkedIn, Accenture, and many more. Cannot list them all. As an avid learner, he recently completed his digital marketing nano degree program at Audacity to add to his gallery of certification in digital marketing. He is a BTech graduate of architecture from the prestigious Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. Currently is the lead educator at After School Academy and marketing director at Cladox Media Limited, just as I mentioned earlier. This place is working is a top branding and digital marketing agency based in Lagos, Nigeria. He looks forward to training more people just as he wants to train us today in relevant digital skills and working with organizations in developing their human capacity through hands-on digital training or digital skills training. And you can connect with him through his LinkedIn and Facebook handles that are shown here. I think we'll get more of his detail as we progress. If you need it, if you skip it, you can private chat me so that I let you know you connect with him. He likes to volunteer, and that's why he's just coming to give us. Please, let's encourage him as we pay rapt attention. Thank you while he takes over. So if you look where you are able to take over now.
All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Thank you
afternoon.
for that introduction. I'm so happy to be in our midst this afternoon. So I am Ifeoluwa, and I'm so glad to be here. So let me go straight into what we are here for. I will put off my video now so that I can maximize the bandwidth of the internet. So I'm very sorry for coming in late. I've been having some struggles connecting with the internet. I don't know why. So, but thank God I'm in. So I want us to go straight into the lesson. So today we'll be looking at Microsoft Excel. And Microsoft Excel is one of the most used software in the world. And almost any company out there, you will find them using Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is one of the basic digital skill that anyone should have. So we want to go into it today, and hopefully, I believe we can hear me.
Yes,
Yes,
I
you can hear
you.
All right, thank you. Okay. So hopefully we'll be able to cover some ground today. So permit me to share my screen now as we go straight into the lesson. So the introduction has been made already, so I don't want to do any form of introduction again. So I will go ahead now and share my screen. So I'll be starting with what we have in agenda today. All right. So let me know as soon as you can see my screen so that I can proceed.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So we want to look at Microsoft
I can
Excel.
see your screen.
And all right, thank you. So these are the things we'll be looking at today. These are some of the skills we'll be learning today. So the first one is we'll be learning how to enter data and how to make use of the navigation tools that we have on Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is actually a kind of software you can use to carry out data analysis, to enter your data, to format your data, and to be able to make sense of data. So basically, it's an example of a spreadsheet program. We have different spreadsheet programs, but the most used of them is Microsoft Excel. We also have a spreadsheet program that is very close to Excel, which is Google Sheets, sorry. So Google Sheets is also similar to Microsoft Excel, but people make use of Excel more than Google Sheets, but they do something very closely related. It's also a spreadsheet program. Now, we will also be making use of some Excel formulas, and we'll be using it to solve problems and to work smarter and faster. Let me give you a very funny scenario. There was a time someone was to take an Excel test while he was trying to apply for a job. So they gave the guy the test and he has to do some calculation. And the guy started putting on the calculator on the system and he was pressing the calculator on the system. And every one of us we are surprised that how will you be making use of Excel and you are still making use of calculator? It sounds wild. So it shows that he did not know how to use the software, because Excel is another calculator on its own. So you can use Excel to do some basic mathematics and some complex mathematics. So we'll be looking at that also. Then we will see how we can create charts and graphs, then how we can use absolute references and relative references. Then hopefully we'll be able to make use of, I need to correct this. This should be HLOOKUP and pivot tables. So we see if we are able to reach that point, we see how far we can go. But I'm very sure we can cover up to the fourth point. Now, this will be a project-based course. So in my organization, After School Academy, we have a way in which we pass our lessons. Most of our lessons are project-based. So we ensure that if you take any of our course, you will be able to know how to apply what you have learned. So we always start from application, then we break it down to the theory part. So we don't start from theory, then to practical. So we do it the other way. So normally when you go to school, they will firstly show you the theoretical knowledge, then before, if they are able to give you the practical knowledge, all well and good, but most times we don't even know how to apply what we have been taught. But in the tech world, the application matters more than the theoretical knowledge. And in the workplace, nobody wants to know if you know it. They really want to know if you can apply it. So we'll be making use of Excel to carry out some projects. So the first project we'll be looking at is payroll. The second one is grade book. The third one is sales inventory. And the fourth one will be database analysis. So if you are able to cover these four projects, you will have known to a good extent Excel from basic to advanced. So as we carry out this project, we will be learning some tools in Excel. So let's go straight to the first project, and that will be the payroll project. Can I know if you are still with me?
We are
Yes.
here.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's good I'm getting
Yeah,
that
I'm with you,
feedback
sir.
because this is all. Thank you so much. Thank you. So feedback is very important in an online class. Okay, so we want to go to the first project, and that is payroll project. Now, I will create a scenario, and through that, we'll be able to know what we want to do. So the scenario is that you just gain an employment, and you are maybe the administrative staff, and you are asked to create an Excel sheet to accommodate the payroll of your staff, how they will be paid, how much they should be paid at the end of the month. And you should be able to also calculate the total amount of money you are spending on salary payment, how many days people are working, which of your which of your staff are entitled to bonus payment based on the fact that they work extra days. So we want to do all those calculations, and we want to get those things done, making use of your Excel sheet. So that is your work, and that is the project you have been given to do as an administrative assistant in a particular company. So we want to see, how do you go about this project? How do you create a payroll for your staff? And how do you go about this? So I will go straight to my Excel sheet now. So I will stop sharing the slide so I can move on to share the Excel sheet. So let me share the Excel sheet now. Okay, to make it easier for me, I'll be sharing my entire screen now, so I won't have to be going back and forth. So let me go to my entire screen, and let me open my Excel. So kindly let me know if you can see the Excel sheets. So I'm waiting for our feedback. Can we see the Excel sheets?
Not yet at my end.
All right, it's okay.
Not yet.
It's okay. So what are you seeing currently?
Seeing the names of the people on the call.
Oh,
I'm seeing the participants.
okay. Okay, maybe that one is not working. Let me use the other one then. Let me go again. Can you see the sheet now?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, you can see it now.
Yes,
All
we can
right,
see
good.
it now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good. So now this is the first project that we want to do. So this is the finished work. This is just the first part of the project, and this is the finished work. So now I will open a new sheet, and we will use that to carry out the project. So how do you open a new sheet on Excel? So after you have opened your Excel app, Excel software on your system, normally you will see something like this. This is the page you will see. So you will have this page, new. So the next thing you need to do is on Excel, we work with what we call workbook. So you open a blank workbook. Don't worry about these ones. These ones are just templates. These are templates you can work with on Excel. But for now, we want to start with a blank workbook. So I will just click blank workbook now. So you must have Excel. Excel is part of the Microsoft suite. So when you install the old Microsoft suite on your system, you will have Excel installed automatically as part of it. And I'm currently making use of Excel 2013. I try to I did not want to use the online version because the online version will be the latest one. And the challenge with that is many of us might not have access to the online version because you have to subscribe to the Microsoft 365 for that. So that might give us a little change in interface, not too much, but just little change in interface. But I don't want us to have that kind of issue. So I want everybody to be able to flow with the tutorial. So even after taking this, by the time you have the latest version of Excel to work with, it will still be, you will still be able to work with it perfectly. So this should be able to give us a good knowledge about Excel. So this is Excel 2013. And if you are using a later version of Excel, probably you are using Excel 2007. Now that is too far. And I'm not sure you can actually make use of that again in any workplace today. So most Excel, any Excel that is lesser than Excel 2010, you might have a little bit major difference in the interface from what you'll be seeing here. But there is no workplace where you will get to today again that they are making use of Excel sheet that is Excel software that is lesser than 2010. So this would be a good way to start for us. So I'm opening a blank workbook now. I will just click on this. So now I have a blank workbook. So if you look at the top, this is where you have your ribbon. And I will not want to go too deep into this because of our time, but I will just let you to know that at the top here, you can see what we call the title of the workbook. So currently this is book 2, then you have Excel. So when you save this sheet, it will change the name to the name of the document. So currently the name of this workbook is book 2. Now, here you have your tabs. This is the File tab. This is the Home tab. This is the Insert tab, the Page Layout tab, the Formulas tab, the Data tab, the Review tab, the View tab, and the Faucet Reader PDF tab. Now, this Faucet Reader PDF tab is an add-on. The meaning of that is it's showing here because I actually have Faucet Reader software installed on my system. If you don't have Faucet Reader software on your system, you won't have this add-on. So your own last tab might be View. So these are the basic tabs you have on Microsoft Excel. Then we have what we call your groups. So I'm trying to take us through these nomenclatures so that in case you attend a Microsoft Excel test and they might ask you, what can you find under alignment group? So you begin to wonder which one is group. So I'm trying to take us through how we name some things on Excel. So these are groups. So we have what we call the clipboard groups. This is the font group. This is the alignment group. This is the number group. And all these groups can be found under the Home tab. The Home tab actually reveals some of the common tools that you make use of on Excel. So this is the clipboard group again, the font, the alignment, the number, the styles, the cells, and the editing. Now, if I move down to the Insert tab, you will notice that the groups has changed. So we have different group now. We have table group, illustration group, apps group, chat group, based on the tab, insert. So you want to insert some things, and these are the tools you can insert into Excel. So under each group, we have what we call the tools. So these are the tools, the cut tool, the copy tool, the font tools, different tools you can make use of in each group. Now you have your spreadsheet. This is your spreadsheet area. And let me show you how we name our sheets. We call it, each of these is called cell. Cell. What did I call it?
Cell.
Cell. Good. Cell. Thank you. So each of these box is called cell. Now, your vertical.
Boogie. Boogie.
I can't understand that.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Now, the vertical options that you have here, like the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. They are called columns. So all these vertical elements are called columns. These ones that I'm pointing at, these are your columns. And the numbers, we call them your rows. Your rows. So these are rows. These are columns. Now, how do we combine a column and a row together when we want to pronounce it? So in Excel, this point here now, this is cell A1. If you look at the box at the top here, you can see the name of the box here, A1. The meaning of that is column A, row 1. So anything that is inside here, we will say that thing is in cell A1. If I point at this box now, I'm on cell B1, that is column B, row 1. So if I come here now, I'm on cell I3, that is column I, row 3. So if I point here, where am I?
You cell D7.
Thank you very much. So I'm on D7, that is column D, row 7. So that's how to name your cells in Excel. Now, at the lower hand, you have what we call your sheets. Now, currently I'm making use of the first sheet. You can create many sheets. So you can create a new sheet. We will see how to do that as we proceed. So that is all about the interface of Excel. So now let's go into our project. The project is you have been given a task to create a payroll for your staff as the administrative head. So to save our time, I will just do some copy and paste for us. So I will copy the name of the organization. I will explain what anything I'm doing now. So now to copy anything on Excel, the only thing you need to do is click on that thing. Let me exit out of this. So click on that particular text. After you have clicked on it, then you press Ctrl C on your keyboard. If you are making use of maybe an Apple computer, then that will be Command C. So, but for normal PC, then that will be Ctrl C. And if you don't want to make use of Ctrl C, when you click, you can come at the top here, you will see copy. So you can just copy. So that's how to copy in Excel. Now, I want to enter the name of the organization. So let me just do that without copying that one. So I can easily enter that one. So I want to enter it at the cell A1. So I will just enter the name of the organization now. So let me just use any name. Okay, let's say probably it's my organization. So Cladox Media Limited. So as soon as you press the cell, just continue to type. It will show up. So Cladox Media Limited employee payroll. So this is their payroll, and that one is done now. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake there. Let me correct something. I mistakenly deleted that. Let me do that again. Okay, so let me retype that. Sorry, I have to attend to something. Clados Media Limited employee payroll. Okay, so I will press enter. So that means I have entered the name. That's the name of the organization. And if you look at the top here, you can see what I have entered. Actually, this top here, we call it the formula bar. So that's where all your formulas will be revealed, or anything in your cell, you'll be seeing it at the top here. So you can see it there. Now, the next thing we want to do is to enter the names of the employee and to enter some of the things we need to fill up. So I will just copy that to make it easier for us. So we have last name, the first name, the daily wage, and the month in which the calculation is being made for. So let's start from, I will enter the last name. So how do you do that? It's very simple. Just click on the cell, and start typing last name. So that is last name. Let me correct this. Then you do the same thing. Now, to move to the next cell, just press tab. To move to the next cell, just press tab. So last name, first name. Then I move to the next cell. So that is where I will have their daily wage. So that's how much I'm paying them per day. Then I move to the next cell, which is the month. So the month is January. So I believe we understand this now. So just permit me to copy the other information inside so that we can go straight to the real task. So now I will bold this. To bold something is very simple. You can just click the first cell, then drag your mouse to the right hand side to cover the whole text. Then you can now click your letter B, which is for bold, under font group. So that will make it to become a bold text. Now, another thing we want to do is we don't want this first name that is hiding. We want it to be revealing, to be showing. So we want to expand this table. So what you just need to do is click on it and come to the top here. When you see this two-edged arrow, click and drag to the right. So that will open up the cell. You can do the same thing for what you have here also. Then you can do the same thing here also. So that opens it up. So that's how to expand your cell. Just click any of the box, then come to the top where you have your ABC. So when you get the two arrow, click it, and you can now drag the line. So since we understand that aspect now, I can go ahead and copy the name of our staff. So to copy this, the name of the staff, I will just click and drag just as I showed us. After that, I will press Ctrl C. Then I will go to that new sheet. Then come to where the first place where you want to enter the option. Click it, then press Ctrl V. So Ctrl V is just a shortcut for pasting on Excel. So that is another shortcut I want us to pay attention to. So the first shortcut I use is Ctrl C. Ctrl C is just to copy. So on your keyboard, you will see it CTRL. So CTRL plus C, that is for copy. Then CTRL plus V, that is for paste. So you might have been using that also, maybe if you have been making use of Microsoft Word. So it's just the same thing as for Excel. So these are the names of our staff, and I've entered that. So I want to enter their daily wage. So how much are they being paid on a daily basis? So that at the end of the day, we can calculate how much they will be paid in a month. Like that. So let's put in their daily wage. So I will copy their daily wage. This is a constant value. So it's each organization has their amount for daily wage. So I just copy and paste that. So now I want to include how many times these people came to work during the month of January. So the number of times they were able to come to work will determine how much they are going to get at the end of the day. So by my statistics, maybe as the admin staff, they will be filling their register. So from that, I can count the number of times each of them were able to come to work for each of the time. And now in a month, on averagely, you come to work 20 times. So that is 5 times in a week, multiplied by 4. So that's 20. So 4 weeks makes a month in some time. Sometimes some weeks, some months can be five weeks. But let's use the average one, 4 weeks, 5 days. So making 20 days. So now let's see how many times these people comes to work. So I will just copy the number of times they come to work, and I'll put it on our sheet. So that means Abiodun Precious came to work 19 times in the month of January. Adebare Felix came to work 25 times out of 20 times. So that means Adebare Felix actually came to work 5 times more, 5 days more than the average number of days. So Ajala Abiola came to work 20 times. So that is the normal value. And we have it up to the last one. So now, the next thing we want to do now is to calculate their pay. How much am I going to pay these people at the end of the day? So this is where we will now start making use of some formulas. So let's start now. Let's see total pay. So I've typed in total pay. So total pay for the month of January. That's what we want to calculate now. So I would like us to pay attention now. So now you will be using your first formula in Excel. Can I know if anybody has any question up to this point?
I don't have questions.
Hello. Please, I have a question.
Any question? Can I proceed?
Yes, I have a question. You can't hear me. Go ahead. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you. All right.
Go ahead and ask your question. Someone has a question.
Okay, please ask.
Okay, I wanted to know that if you have the same name in a particular column and you want to repeat that name on the next column, can you press Control, paste?
If you have the same name on a particular column.
Yes, and you want to duplicate it on the next column, you don't want to type again. Can you just Control paste?
Yes, you can just Control C and paste. You Control C to copy it, then you paste it. That's one way to achieve that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So as we proceed, we will still see a lot of ways in which you can copy information from one cell to another. We will see more of it as we proceed. So now we want to calculate the total pay. So from this now, you know that if I want to get the total pay for this first person, Abodoni Precious, the total pay normally should be the daily wage multiplied by the amount of time he came to work in the month of January, amount of days. So he came to work 19 times and he ought to be receiving 750 naira per day. So that means his total pay for the month of January should be what? 750 multiplied by 19. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that means I can go ahead now to do that calculation in Excel. So what I will just do is look at the wonders of Excel now. So in order to enter a formula in Excel, the first thing you need to do is to press your equal to sign. Equal to. So I will open the Microsoft PowerPoint also to anything I have done here. I will copy it in the slide so that by the time I'm sending the slide to you, you can see all the formulas in the slide. But just watch what I'm doing now. So I've pressed the equal to sign. So the equal to simply means I want to activate a formula. So that's how to activate formula in Excel. You press the equal to sign. So I've pressed the equal to sign. So the next thing I will do now is I want to multiply the daily wage. So I will click on this daily wage box for Abodoni Precious. I will click on this cell. So as soon as I click the cell, you can see the name of the cell came up. That is C4. That is column C, row 4, where you have the 750 naira. Good. So now what I want to do is 750 naira multiplied by 19. So I've clicked 750 naira, which is C4. Then to enter multiply, you will press Shift 8. Shift 8 is your asterisk. So Shift 8 on your keyboard, Shift 8. So that is your asterisk. So it will activate your asterisk. Asterisk is actually what you use for multiplication in Excel. So C4 asterisk, that is multiply by 19. 19 is your what? Your D4 cell. Do we get that formula now? Do we understand the formula?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is, so as soon as you have done that perfectly, you can now press enter. So I pressed enter, and this is what I have: 14,250 naira. Good. Now, there are some times that, let me give us a scenario, let me quickly digress a little. Let's say you enter 750. Now, Excel normally, we count this as a number, and you want this 750 to be formatted like you have it here, 750 naira. So how do you achieve that? So I forgot to show us that. So let me quickly show us that one now. How do you achieve the naira sign and also to put the kobo sign, the kobo part of it? Because currently Excel is seeing this number as just a general number, but this ought to be an accounting number. So we call it accounting number in Excel. Any number that has a naira sign or it has a money sign before it, probably a dollar, a euro, an euro, or something like that. So now what you will do is, normally, if I want to make it $750, I will just come here and press this dollar sign. So automatically it will be $750. But we are dealing with naira. So what I will do here is I will press Ctrl Z. That is, I want to delete what I just finished doing. So you will come to this drop down icon that you have here. You will click it. As soon as you click it, you will see other options. That is money options that you can use. But naira is not listed here. So how do you get naira? You click on more accounting formats. So I will click more accounting formats. Then under symbols, just click that box. Then you will now scroll down. Scroll down till you will see the naira sign. So I can see naira here now. You can see different naira. Naira for Edo, naira for Fulani, Nigeria, naira for Hausa, naira for Ibibio. So you pick anyone that you want to make use of as your naira. So I will just pick anyone here. So as soon as I've done that, I'll press OK. So you can see it has formatted that number to accounting. So you can see accounting at the top here. So that is now a normal value for money. So I believe we understand that. So let me delete that. That is just to explain to us how to format our numbers to naira. Okay, so we have done this calculation. If I double click it, let's say I want to check the formula I used to achieve this. I will double click it. Then you can see the formula you used, C4 multiplied by D4. You can also see it at the top here under your formula bar, and that gives you what you get, which is 14,250 naira. Now, you don't need to do the same thing for each of the items. What you just need to do now is you can copy what you have here down to the last one, and it will give you the exact of it. So for the first one, the simplest one is pick your mouse, bring your mouse to the edge, the lower edge of this cell, where you have that dot. Make sure you click that dot, then drag it down to the last one and leave it. It will automatically fill it with the correct value. Let me do that again in case you did not get it. So what I said is just click on the cell, go to the lower edge, lower end of it at the right hand side, where you have that, is it a square now, a square dot, then click on it and drag it down to the last one, then release it. So it will give you the form, the total automatically. Do we get that?
Sorry, please excuse me. Sorry.
Good.
Sorry to take you back,
Yes, sir.
but I did not get that
place again just now, how you did that Naira sign. Sorry.
All right. Okay. I will take that again. So I want to put Naira sign here. So this is 750, and I want to put a Naira sign in front of it. So what I will do is I will come to under number group on your own tab, number group. So currently what you have here is a general number. So that's why it's showing general. So I want to convert it to an accounting number, that is to have currency symbol. So what I will do is, if I'm using dollars, I can easily click on dollar. It will show dollar here, just as you can see now. But I want to include Naira. So I will click on this drop down button. As soon as I click it, I will have more options. So one of the options I have here none of these options includes Naira. So the next thing I will do now is to click on more accounting formats. So I will click more accounting formats. Then I will come straight to this symbol box. I will click it. I will now scroll down to where I can find Naira. So as I'm scrolling down, I will soon get to where Naira currency is. So I can see it. You can see it now. After the Lao currency, I have the Naira currency. So you can pick any of the ethnic group that you have here, in as much it is Naira. So I will just pick one and I'll press OK. And that is it. Do we get it now?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma. So let me delete it so that we can progress. So I believe we understand how I copied the formula to get the other total pay value. Or I should take it again?
I understand it.
All right.
I understand that.
Okay. So now we've calculated the total pay. So now we've been able to see, let me go to my PowerPoint slide. So we've made use of the multiplication formula now, or function. So now let's see, how do you make use of maximum function, minimum function, the average function in your Excel? So that's the next thing we do now. Okay, so now I will come down here. I'm scrolling down. I will come to this row 24 and I will enter maximum. So I want to calculate the maximum amount, the person that is collecting the maximum amount of money. Then I will enter minimum here, the average, and then the total value, the total amount of money I'm spending in a month, or the organization will be spending. So to get the maximum, that is, who is collecting the maximum wage, that is, who is collecting the highest amount of wage among all the staff. So we want to get who among the staff is collecting the highest wage. So it's very simple in Excel, and this will make us to use another formula. So the formula we'll be using now is what we call the maximum formula. And how do we achieve that? I said it the other time that when you want to do any formula calculation in Excel, what you need to do is just to press the equal to sign. That's how to start. So I'm going to press the equal to sign now. And then the next thing I will do is to type what we call max, the max function. So MAX. As soon as I type the MAX, you can see that something came up here. The function came up. So you can double click it, or you press the open parenthesis, that is open bracket. That's the two ways to activate that formula. Either you press open parenthesis, that is open bracket, or you double click on the max that you have here. So I will use the simplest one just by pressing the open bracket. So as soon as I enter the open parenthesis or open bracket, you can see two other options that I have here. I have number 1, comma, number 2, or something like that. So that is showing to me that what are the ranges of number that Excel will be using to calculate the maximum number. So to give Excel that information, what I just need to do is click on this one here and drag it up. That's how to get your range in Excel. That's how to insert range. So the meaning of that is my range for the maximum value that I want Excel to calculate will be from C4 to C22. So that is the range. So you can see it here, C4 ratio C22. You can also see it here, C4 to C22. So that is the range of values that Excel will be looking at to pick out the maximum one. Then I will put in the closing bracket. That's you close the bracket, then you press enter. So as soon as I do that, Excel will extract the maximum one and include it here. So the 4,000 naira, the person receiving 4,000 naira is actually receiving the highest amount of wage in a month, and that is efficient for Lake. So she's receiving the most wage in the organization. I will go to my PowerPoint now to type in the formula for us. So to calculate maximum, what you will use is equal to, then you type max and open bracket, put the range, then close bracket and press enter. So that's how to get your maximum function. Please, I need us to give me a feedback if you understand that.
I understand it.
So please, can you
do
take that
understand
back
this.
again?
Quite interesting.
Okay, I should do it again. Okay, yes, I will do it
Yes,
again now.
sir.
Okay, so the maximum function is equal to, then equal to is just to start, to tell Excel that I want you to start a formula. That's the meaning of equal to sign. So you press the equal to sign, then you type MAX, that is max. Then you open your brackets and you give Excel the range you want to use. You close the bracket and you press enter. So let's do that practically. So let me delete this. So I will come to, just put your cell, click on the cell where you want Excel to enter the solution. So I'm clicking on this point. Then I will press the equal to sign. As soon as I press the equal to sign, Excel has known now that I want to work with formula. So I will now type MAX, that is max. So Excel will give you some suggestions of formulas based on what you have typed. So I've already seen max there. So the next thing I will do is open bracket. So I've put in my open bracket. Then I will now tell Excel, this is the range of numbers I want to use, the range of cell I want to use. So I will just drag. You can drag from the top to the down or from down to top, anyone. So I will just drag. You click and drag. So you hold your left click on your mouse. So you click the first one. You don't release it until you get to the last one. Then you release your mouse. So Excel will automatically know now that you are copying from here to here and you want to pick the maximum from this range. Now I will press the close bracket. After that, I will press my enter. And that is 4,000. Do we get that now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now the same thing we did for max, we do for minimum. So to get your minimum, you just need to press your equal to, and you will type min, that is MIN, min. So you can see Excel has written it for you that returns the smallest number in a set of values. So it will return the smallest number. So what you want to do now is to open your bracket for minimum. Then the same thing again, you copy the range, either from top to down or from down to top. Then you close the bracket and you press enter. So it will return 450. So the person collecting 450 is actually receiving the lowest amount of wage, and that is Jonathan Godwin, 450 naira. So now I want to calculate the average wage. So what is the average wage I'm paying to my staff, or that the organization is paying to their staff? So to achieve that also, you press your equal to sign for formula, then you start typing average. So this is average one, so it returns the average arithmetic mean of that range. So after typing in your average, either you double click it or you open brackets, anyone will work. So this time around, let me double click so that you can see it. So I will double click on this average. So as soon as I double click it, it will give me the open bracket automatically. Then I now need to give Excel the range. So I will copy the range, then I will close the bracket and press enter. So this is the average money I'm paying to my staff, 1,628 naira 95 kobo in a month. So the total, so what is the total daily wage? That is in a day, how much am I spending on wage? So I want to calculate the sum total of all this wage. So how do you do that? So now we'll be using another function called the sum function. But before we do that, let me fill our PowerPoint so that we can understand better. So we've done multiplication, and to achieve that, you just need to press equal to, and you put the cell, you click on the cell, you put your asterisk, you click on the cell again, and you press enter. Then for minimum, we said all you need to do is to press your equal to sign, type in minimum, then open your parentheses, put the range, and close it and press enter. The same thing for average. Start with the equal to sign, type in average, open your parentheses, put in your range, and close it. Then for sum, so this is what we'll be using now. So for sum, you see the same thing. You press the equal to sign, you type in your sum, and you put the range, and you close it and press enter. So that's how to use the sum function also. So let's go and do that practically. So I want to calculate the sum of all the daily wage. How much am I spending daily on wage? Or the organization is spending daily on wage. So it's very simple. What you just need to do is press the equal to sign, type in sum, then your open parentheses. Now give Excel the range, either from top or from down. So let's do from down to up. This is the range. Then close the bracket and press enter. So this is the total amount of money we are spending on wage per month. So I want to bold my total. I will just click. If you want to bold anything on this row, just come to the number, click it, and come to here and click bold. So it will bold anything on this row. So do we understand the max, mean, average, and total or sum function now?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. So now we want to come to.
Excuse me, sir, please.
All right, you can ask.
Excuse me. Oh, just the last one, the sum total.
Okay. How I get
Thank
that,
you.
am I right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, please. Thank you.
Good. So now, to get the sum total, let me delete this first. So the formula is, you press your equal to sign to tell Excel that I want to do a formula. I want to make use of a formula, sorry. So as soon as I press the equal to sign, I will type SUM, that is sum. So you can see sum as part of the list. There are many ways you can sum things. We will still look at some of them as we proceed, but for now, we are making use of sum alone, that is the sum total of it. Other ones, they are conditional sum. So just use the sum alone, SUM function. Then you will now press your open parentheses, that is open bracket, then you put the range of the sum, everything you want to sum, everything you want to add together. So you either you copy from top or you copy from down. It will still give you the same result. So you click and drag to copy the range. So that's the range. So if you look at your formula, you will have seen it C4 to C22. Then you close the bracket and you press enter. Enter means accept the formula. So it will now go ahead and calculate for you. So this is the sum of all these numbers you have here, the daily wage. So you don't really need to be adding them one by one. So just use the formula and that's it. Do you get it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right.
Sorry,
So
please, sorry, sir, please. Where
okay.
did you see? Please, where did you see C4 to C22?
I can get it.
How did you get C4 to C22? Is that a formula?
Yes, that's the formula. When you C4 to C22 is just your range. That's your range. You know, when we select from top to down, what we have done is we have selected cell C4. This is cell C4. That is this cell C4 up to what you have here, C22. If you want to know the name of a cell, just be looking at your left-hand side here, name box. So this is C4, starting from 750 to C22 500. So in Excel formula, it will show you the range as a number. So by the time I click here now, on the formula bar, you will be seeing it. You will be seeing the formula you use to achieve this. That is sum C4 to C22. Do you get it? Or I should do it again?
Yes, yes, I guess now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So now let's proceed to the other ones. So we want to see in the number of days that we have here that people came to work, which one is the maximum, which one is the minimum. Let's see the maximum time people came to work, the minimum number of days people came to work, the average number of days they came to work, and we don't really need to bother ourselves about the total number of days people came to work, but that might not really make any more sense. So let's see if people are actually coming to work in this organization. So to get the maximum, you don't need to bother yourself about doing the calculation again. You already have a formula that you use to get the maximum here. So one thing Excel will do for you is, as soon as you copy to this place, Excel will automatically look up here and calculate the maximum based on the formula, based on the numbers, the values you have on this column. So let's see what will happen now. So there are two ways to copy. You can Control C and come to this cell and press Control V. So Excel will automatically convert it to based on the numbers you have here. But the only thing Excel will not do for you is Excel will not convert it to a general number. It will still bring it up like accounting number. So you are the one that will now change this as you progress. So that's one way to copy and paste, just normal Control C and Control V. Another way is to, the same way we drag that other time, just drag to the right. Click that box, drag it to the right and drop it. It will still give you the same thing. And you can drag it all to the last point. That is, you can drag it from here all up to the last one here. It will calculate the maximum for the total pay also instantly. So that's how to copy your formula into other cell. And at the same time, it will use the values that are at the top. Do you get what I'm trying to explain?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So now let's see, how do we change this to a general number? This is a general number. This ought to be a general number, not a currency. So what I will just do is I will click on it. Then I will come here where you have your number format. Just click on this drop down button and click general. So it will convert it to a general number automatically. So I can do the same thing now. Just select this to the right. So it will give me the minimum. I can come here also to calculate the average. Then for these two, I will select them, come here and make it a general number. Now, there is a challenge here. And the challenge is that the average, being an average, you know, is the mean. So it's giving me some decimal points. So I want to reduce these decimal points to 2 decimal places. How do you do that in Excel? Come to number, and you will see this increased decimal and reduce decimal, that is decrease decimal. So I will just click once until I get to the number of decimal place I want. So Excel offers you one of the best way to round off your decimal number, because that can be confusing sometimes. But when you do it with Excel, you can be sure you are rounding up to the perfect number. So that is how to round off your decimal number. Should I do that again?
Yes, please.
Hi.
Okay. Okay. So I want to do that again now. I will click it. Then I will go to number, under number here. Then we have two options here. The first one here is to increase the decimal number. Then the second one is to decrease the decimal number. So I will click it the first time, it will reduce it. I'm going to 2 decimal place. So I will continue to click until I get to decimal place. And that's it. So as it's reducing it, it will be rounding it off as it ought to be. So that is how to calculate. So I can get the total for this now. Now I don't want total for the number of times they came to work, because it doesn't make much sense. But I want the total for the number of pay. So what I will do is, if I try to copy as we used to do, that I copy like this, it will be giving me the total for the number of times. And that really doesn't have it's not passing any information to us. So I don't want that to happen. So what I will do is I will use a different way to copy. So I will just use our normal Control C and Control V. So I will press Control C, that is to copy this cell. I will click this cell now, and I will now press Control V. So now you can see this pound sign, that is the hashtag. The meaning of that is the number that ought to be in this cell is more than the space you have. So you just need to increase this your cell, and you'll be able to get the number. So to show you the number. So that is how to calculate max, mean, average, and total. So now we finished the first aspect of our payroll. So let's make this payroll to be more complex so that we can get this other function. So we are already moving into some advanced Excel now. So everything we have done here now is just the beginners to Excel. We've learned how to enter data in Excel. We've learned how to format your data into a particular data type. So normally this ought to be a number data type, but we convert it to what? Accounting data type. So to make it so that we can get the currency. Then we've also learned how to do some basic mathematics, which is how to do your addition, how to do your multiplication. Then that was what we used to get the total pay. Then we've learned how to calculate your maximum value, your minimum value, your mean value, or your average value. Then we've seen how to do your additions, your sum total, by calculating using the sum function. So those are basics of Excel. Then we've also seen some nomenclature, how the Excel layouts are named. So now, let's do some advanced Excel now. Let's make this thing to be more complex, and let's see what we can achieve with that. So to do that, I will open a new sheet. So how do you open a new sheet? Just click the plus sign. So you have achieved your project. Your project is to deliver a payroll, to design the payroll for your organization. So now they know what to pay each staff now per month. So Abiola will be collecting 24,000 naira by the end of the month. Babalola Enoch will be collecting 69,000 naira. Now, we want to bring this thing in context. The meaning of that is, in a Nigerian organization, there are some times that you will agree with me that mostly salaries are fixed. The meaning of that is either you come to work 20 times, you come to work 30 times, you come to work more than the number of days, you still get the exact amount of salary you ought to get. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. So that means for these guys that came to work 20 times, that is the normal number of times they ought to come to work. So they came to work 20 times. They are collecting their fixed salary. That is 40,000 naira in a month. This one is fixed salary is 24,000 naira. But there are some guys here, like these ones that came to work
Couldn't hear
23
you
times.
again.
Oh, hello? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay. Someone said she couldn't hear me again. All right, so I can proceed. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So now
Right,
I'm
sir.
trying to, okay, thank you. So I'm trying to explain that in the context of our country or some organization, these guys that came to work 23 times, 26 times. So these guys now, they are collecting more than their fixed salary, because this guy that is collecting 3,000 naira in a day, and by the fixed salary, it shouldn't be collecting more than 60,000 naira. But because he came to work 23 times, and by our calculation, we are saying that your total pay should be daily wage multiplied by the number of times you came to work. But this is not the reality in our context. So coming to work 23 times, they will still pay him 60,000 naira. They can now give him bonus, like, okay, you came to work 3 more days, let's give you a particular bonus for the 3 days. But that doesn't mean we will now multiply the number of days you came to work, the 3 extra days, multiplied by your daily wage, and give you 69,000 naira. So we want to adjust that for our payroll. So how do we achieve this? How do we ensure that we are not actually paying more than what we ought to pay? Now, we want to punish people that doesn't come to work for the exact number of times. Like this guy now, he came to work 19 times. So we are going to give him what he ought to get, 19 times 750. That's what he ought to get. We can't pay him his full salary because he missed work. But these guys that did more, we pay them their full salary, but we will now give them bonus. Bonus is just to encourage them and to appreciate them for coming to work more than the expected time. But we are not going to pay them a full wage per day for coming to work more. Although some organization can afford that, but I can tell you it's not all organization that can afford that. So most organization will pay you your full payment and they will give you bonus. So how do we calculate that? And that is why we want to make use of another sheet now. So how do you move content from one sheet to another? So the easiest way is to press Ctrl A. Ctrl A means you are selecting all the information you have here. So it will select everything. Or you copy from up, then you drag down and you press Ctrl C. So Ctrl C will copy everything. Then you can move to your next sheet, click the first cell and press Ctrl V. So you will have it here. So the reason for all this pound sign is because of the space. So I can expand it so that I can add the numbers. Good. So this is still the same thing I have in sheet 1, but I want to upgrade this sheet now, and I don't want to tamper with this. So that's why I moved to another sheet. So now, we'll be having some other information that we'll be putting in. So we'll be having what we call extra days. We'll be calculating the extra days that they came to work. We'll be calculating their monthly pay. We'll be calculating the extra day bonus. Now we will now calculate their total pay based on the monthly pay they ought to get, the extra bonus they ought to get, then the total pay. So that will give us more opportunity to use some other Excel functions. So let's start with the first one. Let's calculate their extra days. So what are the extra days that individual of them came to work? Okay. Now, if you want to calculate the extra days, the formula normally should be this number of day minus, 20 minus the number of day the person came to work, or the number of day he came to work minus 20. So he came to work 19 times. You subtract it from the number of days. So that means this guy actually did not even live up to expectation. But this guy here, 25. If you do 25 minus 20, that means the extra day is what? 5 days. I believe we understand that formula.
Yes, sir.
Good. So please, I want us to just follow me because now we are doing some mathematics now. And I know not everybody have interest in mathematics, but Excel actually make mathematics simple. So we will be using a function called, okay, let me just show us something first. So normally the formula should be 20 minus, number of days that they came to work minus 20. 20 is the fixed number of days. So let's do that. So we press equal to sign, then number of days, that is 19, minus 20. You enter your 20 and you press enter. So now you will notice that what you get here is minus 1. And this really does not pass the right information. If I copy it down, it will be okay for this second one because its own is more than 20. So I'm getting 5. But I don't want this minus 1. The reason why I don't want it, okay, let me copy it for all so that you can actually see what you will get. So some people are getting negative answers. Some people are getting 0. That is, this ones, they doesn't have any extra days. So normally it will be 0. But these guys that are having negative answers, I don't want it to be negative answer because it will affect my calculation at the end of the day. So I want anybody that doesn't have up to 20 to be 0. So if you don't have up to 20 or you have 20, your extra days should be 0. So those people that should have extra days are actually the ones that have more than 20. Do we get that logic?
Yes, we do. Yes, I do.
Yes, thank you. So now I've deleted that first formula. So the formula we'll be using now is a conditional kind of formula. So I will be telling Excel that what I want you to do for me is, if what I want to do, the calculation I want to do, the option I'm picking here on the number of days, if it is less than 20, then the answer you should give me should be 0. But if it is more than 20, then go ahead and calculate using this formula. So that is the statement I want to give to Excel now. So how do I give Excel that statement? I will use a function called the if function. If function. So we will still use it many other times, so you will understand it. But this is one of the most important function in Excel. And if you can get it, there are many things you'll be able to do with it. So let's go now. Equal to sign. I'll firstly press the equal to sign. Then I will type if, if. So the meaning of that is check whether a condition is met. Can you see it? And return one value if true and another value if false. So that's what that function will do for you. It will check whether a condition is correct, is met. So if that condition is met, give me a particular value. If that condition is not met, then return a particular value. So now, if you open the bracket, so the logical test, that is the statement now, the conditional statement I want to give to Excel is that if this first cell, this is where Excel will be getting the information. So if this first cell, D4, is greater than 20, just follow me. If this cell D4 is greater than 20, then I want Excel to go ahead and calculate the number of extra days. But if it is less than 20, I want it to return 0. That's the meaning. So if D4, that is the anything in this cell, is greater than 20, 20 is the number of times they ought to come to work. Comma means I've finished my conditional statement. So give me this formula. So go ahead and calculate. So I'm going to click this D4 again. That is, I'm just telling Excel that make sure you pick from this column. So D4 minus 20. So that is the formula we used the first time. And this is the normal formula, D4 minus 20. That is, but don't forget, Excel will only do this calculation if this condition is met, this condition of D4 greater than 20. If this condition is not met, if D4 is not greater than 20, anything in this area, if it is not greater than 20, then the first statement is that return 0. So I've entered 0. So the answer Excel will give me will be 0 if this condition is not met. Then I will close the bracket and I will press enter. So now you can see Excel has returned 0. The reason is because the option here is less than 20. So I've told Excel that since that condition is not met, return 0. If I copied it down, as we used to copy, it will give me 5. The reason is because this option here met the condition. The condition is this one here must be more than 20. Since it is more than 20, then do the calculation. And that calculation is what? 25 minus 20, and which is 5. If I copy it down to the end, that will be the same thing Excel will continue to do. So for 20, it will return 0 because it's not greater than 20. For 23, it will do the calculation and give me 3. Please, do we get that? I will explain the formula again. I just want to know if we get it.
Yes, I
sir.
do.
All right. So let me type the formula into our PowerPoint so that we can remember anytime I share with you when you want to try it on ours. So the equal to sign, then if open bracket D4, that is the name of the cell. Click a cell. Let me just use cell because sometimes you might not use, your own might not be D4. So cell, if the cell is greater than your fixed day, that is 20. So go ahead and calculate, that is the true value. Go ahead and calculate the cell multiplied by, the cell minus 20. That's the formula. If not, return 0, then close bracket and press enter. So that's the formula. Good. So we are making progress. So that is how to calculate the extra days. Now, we want to proceed to get our monthly pay. So now that we know the extra days, let's use the extra days to calculate. We will now calculate what the monthly pay actually ought to be without considering the extra days, because we'll be giving them bonus. We won't be doing that kind of multiplication we did in the first time, because that one is not economical for the organization. So what we want to do now is, if you are collecting more, if you come to work more than the expected number of days, you will still collect your full salary, then we will give you bonus on it. So the monthly pay now, which is the right one, will now be for the people that came to work without any extra days, or probably they did not meet up to the number of days. Their own calculation will just be this multiplied by this, and you will get the answer. But for this guy that is 25, so his own calculation will still be So his own calculation will be, what am I doing? No, daily wage, not this. So this, we are not considering this again now. So it will be daily wage, that is 1,350 multiplied by 20, and he will get his monthly pay. So it will not be 25. Then this one also, it will be daily wage multiplied by 20. All right. So how do we achieve that? How do we achieve that? So we will still use our if formula to calculate the monthly
Hello,
pay.
excuse me, sir.
All right.
Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Whether it's my network or so. I didn't see any of the extra days calculation. But if you can't go back, that's fine. I will probably ask. But I would love it if you can.
Okay.
Maybe just the first, where I got it was when you said conditional function, the equal, the if statement, and then click on the cell I want greater than 20, comma. That's where I stopped.
Okay. I will please take that now.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Okay, I can see the formula on the, okay, D for line.
All right. So what we did here is that we enter the formula if, then, okay, maybe I should delete it, because if I do not delete it, I will not be able to explain it. So what I did here is I press if formula, if, sorry, you must firstly press the equal to sign, equal to if, that is if, and open bracket or open parenthesis. Then the next thing you do is to put the logical test, that is the statement, the conditional statement you want. And the conditional statement is you want the number of days the person came to work, that is from this D4 or this particular cell. It might be any cell, but we are dealing with the first one now. So from this cell, if it is greater than 20, that is greater than 20, then means you press your comma, then go ahead and calculate this particular formula. So the formula is still the same thing, D4 minus 20. That is what you have in this cell minus 20, if this condition has been met. If not, return 0. So if this condition is not met, then return 0. Don't do any calculation, just return 0. So I've typed in 0. I will close the bracket and I will press enter. You get that?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I got it now, sir.
All right. So we can now go ahead and copy the information here.
Yeah, I understand it. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now let's go to the monthly pay. So to calculate our monthly pay now, we will still be using that if function. And I will tell you why we want to use the if function. The reason for that is, if you look at the monthly pay normally should be the daily wage multiplied by the number of days. And that will give you your monthly pay, just like we calculate the total pay here. But we will run into trouble when we get to these guys here, these ones that have more than 20. Because by the time you multiply the daily wage, multiplied by the number of days the guy came to work, you will be paying him more than his normal salary. His normal salary should be the daily wage, multiply by 20, because 20 is the exact number of days they ought to come to work. So in order to prevent that in our monthly pay calculation, we'll be using the if function. So we can't go ahead and just do normal daily wage multiplied by number of days. For that calculation to work, a condition must be met. Do you get it now? A condition must be met. So if that condition is met, then go ahead and do the calculation. But if that condition is not met, then this is the calculation you must do. So we want to give Excel that condition. So let's do it now. Equal to if, that is if, open bracket. So the condition is if the daily wage, if the number of days, not the daily wage now, the number of days, I click on it, is less than 20. It's less than 20, then go ahead and multiply daily wage multiplied by number of days. So what I will do now is comma. Comma means I have accepted the condition. Then what should Excel do? Excel should go ahead and multiply this one, multiply by this cell, that is D4. So that is for the condition being met. Let me take it again. If you can see it at the top here, or you can look at it here also. If D4 is this cell, no, this 19, or it might be anyone here, but just this 19 now. We are dealing with the first one. If it is less than 20, then Excel should go ahead and multiply the two. That is what we have just done. That means the condition has been met. But if not, I will press comma. If not, that is for the false. Value if false. If this condition is not met, what is the value? If not, what Excel should do is that you should multiply this daily wage by 20. 20 is the exact number of days you ought to come to work. So if this number here is not less than 20, then that means it is greater than 20. Excel should go ahead and use this second formula. But if it is less than 20 or equal to 20, sorry, it's still the same. It must be, it should put equal to there. So I'm combining two functions now. If it is less than or equal to 20, then Excel should go ahead and use this formula. But if not, if it is greater than 20, then you should use this formula. That is daily wage multiplied by 20. Please, do we understand that formula?
I did not understand this one, though. Please.
Okay, let me take it again. Yes, I understand why you don't understand. It's an advanced part, and because it contains a lot of numbers. So let me take it again. Thank you for that. Let's do it again. The condition is what I want Excel to do for me. If what you have here, 19, if it is less than 20, then, okay, maybe I should be writing it down. Okay, let me use that Excel to write it. Let me write the statement. If the number of days that the guy came to work is less than 20, is less than or equal to 20, sorry, or equal to, but if it is less than or equal to 20, then what Excel should do for me is that multiply the daily wage multiply it by the number of days. But if not, if that condition is not met, if not, what you should do is multiply the daily wage multiply it by 20. So that is what we are asking Excel to do. Let me wrap this test. Sorry. So what we are saying is, if the number of days is less than 20, is less than or equal to 20, then daily wage multiply the daily wage by the number of days. But if not, multiply the daily wage by 20. So that's the condition. So what? Let me put that condition here now. Let me just, I want to take it out of this place. I don't want to put it there. Let me see if I can find a place for it here. Okay, let me do it like this. Sorry, I want us to get it. Okay, sorry. I want to put that information here so you can get it. Okay. So this is the statement we want to make. If the number of days is less than or equal to 20, then do daily wage multiplied by number of days. But if not, do daily wage multiplied by 20. So let's go to Excel now. Let's go and put that function there. So if, sorry, let me close something. Okay, so put the equal to sign. If, open brackets, now, D4 is less than 20. Then, so sorry, I'm missing something. If D4 is less than or equal to 20, then go ahead and do daily wage multiply by number of days. But if not, what you should do is daily wage multiply by 20, close bracket, and that's all. Do we get it?
Yes, I've gotten it now. I understand it.
Okay.
Sorry, please, can you
So,
repeat? I did not get it, please.
all right. Let's take it again. So we will start with the equal to sign. And the first statement, we want to use the function if then open bracket. What is your condition? That is the logical statement, the condition now. The condition is if this option here, that is the number of days, if the number of days, I've clicked it. As soon as you click it, it will be wrote, you will see that it has been copied, and you will see the number here. If it is less than or equal to 20, so on your keyboard, press the less than sign. On your keyboard, press the equal to sign and enter 20. That is, if D4 is less than or equal to 20. That is the condition now. Then go ahead and do this formula. The formula is what? Daily wage. That is your C4. Multiplied by number of days. That is your D4. But if not, You put your comma now. If not, what you should do is daily wage multiplied by 20. The reason why we are using 20 is because 20 is the number of days they are expected to come to work. And we don't want to pay anybody more than the fixed salary, because that is how we operate in our organization. If you come more than 20, we will only pay you bonus. Do you get it? So we now close the bracket. Do we get the formula now?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I will
Yes,
now
sir. Thank
press,
you.
thank you. I will now press enter. So now I've gotten the monthly pay. This is 14,215 naira. You will notice that it's still the same thing as the total pay for this guy. And why? Because this guy actually did not come more than 20 times. He actually came lesser. So the formula was calculated. And that was why we have here. And now I want to ensure that this is not a general number. This should be an accounting number. So let's recall what we did the other time. So what I will just do is I will go up here. So let me do that. Normally, I don't need to do it again. I can just copy the format from here to this place. But in order to make us to recall that process, so let's do it again. So I will just come to this option here. No, not this one. I will come to this option here, the drop down button by the $sign. I will click the more accounting format. I will go to the symbol here. Then I will scroll down. Then I pick Naira and press OK. So it has formatted it into currency and it is now accounting. So I don't need to repeat the same thing for everything again. I just need to click this box by the downside and drag it down, and it will fill the pay automatically. If you want to confirm, just double click here. You will notice that it's using the right function here. If you double click this one, sorry, let me exit out of this first. If I double click this, you will also see it's using the right one. So that confirms that it's still using the right formula. Now, you will see that this guy that came to work 21 times, he has one extra day. He's still collecting his fixed salary, 80,000 naira, not this 84,000 naira. Now, and the guy that came to work 25 times, normally we ought to be paying him 20,000 naira in a month. So he's still collecting the 20,000 naira. So the extra days that he came, it will be given to him as a bonus. But for our bonus, we are not paying a full day payment. So now we'll be paying them a half of what they ought to collect in a day. So 4,000 naira in a day. So for coming to work more than the expected 20, that extra one day, she's entitled to 50% of her daily wage, which is 2,000 naira. So we'll be giving her 2,000 naira plus 80,000 naira as our monthly pay. So how do we calculate that? So instead of giving her 84,000 naira by the first calculation, which is not the right calculation for this contest, we need to be paying her 82,000 naira because she will be collecting bonus of what? 2,000 naira. That is half of her daily wage for coming one more time. So let's calculate the bonus each of them are entitled to. So bonus amount now. So bonus pay. So we want to calculate the bonus pay for this person. So these guys now that did not come to work up to 20 times, normally he will not collect any bonus, as you know. This one that came to work 5 more times, she ought to collect a bonus pay. So what is the formula for our bonus pay? What is the formula for our bonus pay? How much should we pay them in a month? So now let's see that. I think we understand why we want to calculate the bonus pay.
Yes, sir.
Good. So the bonus pay will just be the daily wage multiplied by, the half of the daily wage multiplied by the number of extra days. That is, if you come to work like this, let me use the one that is easy to explain here. So like this guy that came to work one extra day, so she will be collecting half of the daily wage, that is 2,000 naira, that is 4,000 naira divided by 2, or 4,000 naira multiplied by 0.5. So that's the half. So that is 2,000 naira multiplied by what? 1. So the formula is half of daily wage multiplied by extra days. Let me take it again. The formula is what? Half of daily wage multiplied by extra days. That will be their bonus. So let's do that now. So equal to sign the daily wage. Now, we will now put multiply by 0.5. That is half. Half is 0.5. That is half. I don't know how to explain that. 1/2 in decimal place, that's 0.5. I think we get that. 0.5. Now, if you say multiply by extra days, now this formula will be wrong. The problem with that is in mathematics, this kind of function can create problem, because what you want to do is you want to ensure that the first thing Excel will do is to firstly calculate C4 multiplied by 0.5 before you go ahead and calculate multiply by F4. So we have to put these two guys in parentheses, that is in brackets, so that Excel will know that the thing in brackets is the first thing I need to do before I go ahead and multiply it by the extra number of days. I think you will get that concept.
Yes,
Do we
sir.
get it? Good. So that's the reason why I decided to put the brackets. So I think my formula is correct now. Daily wage multiplied by 0.5, that is half of the daily wage, multiplied by F4, that is extra days. So let's see what we will get. So this guy here will not get anything because it did not meet up to the number of, it doesn't have any extra days. So that's why it's collecting 0. But let's see what others will get. So see what these ones are getting. For now, you will notice that it's returning it as a general number. But I don't want it to be a general number. I want it to be what? A currency. So what I will do this time around is, instead of going all the way to do that thing we are doing before, I will introduce us to the format painter now. So I've deleted that one. Instead of having it as 0, I will come to my format painter. Now pay attention now. I want to copy the format I have here. I will click it. I will come to format painter under the clipboard group by the left hand side here. You can see format painter. So I will click it. As soon as I click it, this place will be selected. Then I will come to this bonus pay and I will click it. So as soon as I did that, you can see it's giving me dash. The meaning of dash is no payment is being given, and it's now in Naira. So I can now copy down. So you can see I have my accounting format. Those ones that are dash, the meaning of that is they will not be paid any bonus. Do we understand that?
Please, yes.
Please, just a little go back to it. Format
Okay.
painter. Thank you,
Format
sir.
painter. All right. Thank you. So let me do that again. So I want to copy the format of this number here. This is an accounting number. So I want to copy the format of this number to this number here to make it the same format. So I will click on this. I will come to Format Painter. I will click it. Then I will click on the number that I want to paste the format to. So as soon as I click it, it has turned it to accounting. Then I can now copy down as we used to do. And that's it.
Okay,
so that's
sir.
the
Thank you, sir.
bonus. Thank you very much. So that's the bonus paid. So how much will they now get? So you should now know that normally the payment will now be monthly pay together with, that is monthly pay plus the bonus pay. So for this guy now that came 5 more times, he will collect his fixed salary and he will be paid the bonus 3,375. So let's do that now. So the total monthly pay that this individual of them will go home with will now be what? So let me expand this. So how much will this guy go home with? So that will be, the formula is simple, equal to now let me see something first before I go ahead. Let me confirm my formula because it's also important you do that. Let me be sure that it's actually referencing the right thing. Okay. So in order to know if your formula is still referencing the right thing, just double click on it and it will show you, it will highlight what is being used. So it's using C11, that's 4,000 naira, half of it, then multiply by 1. So that is still correct. So that means all the formulas are correct till the last one. Okay, so let's add this together, equal to monthly pay plus bonus pay. So now I've shown you another way to add. Before, we are using the sum function. So if you have a lot of things to add together, you use the sum function. But this time around, I have just 2 things to add together. So that's why I introduced us to another way to add something by using your plus. So just click the plus sign on your keyboard. That is your shift equal to, and you will get the plus sign. Then I can press the enter. So it will still return the normal value for this guy because it's not collecting any bonus. But for this guy that is collecting bonus, you will see it will return something for them. So this one, it has added 27 with 3,000 plus, and this one she's getting. So that is the real value of money they ought to be paid. Any question?
No, I don't have questions, sir.
All right. So now we can come down now and we can do some, we can bring in some of our functions here. So let's calculate the maximum amount of money, the person that is receiving the highest amount of money for the month of January. So what you just need to do is copy the function you have here. Just copy it, just select from top to down, Control C, then come down to this side and press Control V. So if you copy it directly, you don't need to be doing it one after the other. So here, 80,000 naira is the maximum. The person collecting 80,000 naira is collecting the highest amount of salary, and that is efficient for Luke. So he's collecting 80K. The person with the 9,000 naira is collecting the lowest amount of salary, and this is the average amount of salary, and this is how much I am spending. I will be spending, the organization will be spending in the month of January for the basic salary. And for bonus, this is the maximum bonus we are paying, 4,500. And this is the average amount of bonus. And this is how much the organization is spending in the month of January for bonus. So the organization is spending 19,000 naira on bonus. Now let's copy it to the other one also. So that means the organization is spending 82,000 naira in that month of January as the maximum amount they are paying for salary. And this is the total amount they will be spending on salary for the month of January, 630,175 naira. You can now see it is lower than the first calculation we did, because the first calculation just multiply the total day. But we don't want it to be like that. We want to pay them by bonus. So with that, we can be more economical with our spending. So this is the total amount of money for the month of January. And with that, we have come to the end of the payroll for the month of January, based on the condition we need to meet. Any question? So let me go to my slide and see if I've completed all that needs to be done on the payroll. Okay, so there is something remaining, that is the absolute referencing. So we will still see that as we proceed. But for now, we are through with all these other functions. We have seen copy and paste, we have seen all other ones. So now we will do the absolute referencing as we proceed. But I want us to leave the payroll now. Let's go to the next project. So let's leave the payroll project now. We can still make this payroll project to be more bigger, like I planned, but because of our time, I would not want us to continue. So with that, so this is the next one we'll have done. We will have tried to expand it to up to 6 months, but there is no problem with it. It's just normal copy and paste. So we'll have expanded it to 6 months, and we'll have seen how to do some other formatting. But this will be done in project 2. So let's go to project 2. Let's go to the gradebook project. Do we understand the payroll project? Do we know how to carry out a payroll now?
Hello, say I can no longer hear you.
Okay, I'm saying that, do we get what we explained under this payroll project? Do we understand it very well?
For me, yes.
All right. So can I?
Yes,
I
sir.
think I good. So
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I want to move on to the next project now, which will be the. So I will just open a new sheet. So we want to do a gradebook project now. So that will be our project 2. We want to create a scenario, and the scenario is that you are a class teacher and you have some students that are working with, that you are trying to calculate their scores. So, and you have to be able to determine your best performing students and some students that will need to retake the exams, some students that will need to repeat the class, and we want to see some conditional formatting. So we will see all those things, and you are going to generate your results by displaying it in graph to make it more visual. So in this gradebook project, we'll be learning some other functions in Excel. We will learn about percentage, relative referencing error, conditional formatting, how to insert graph, and how to do text to column. So at the end of the day, this is what we want to achieve. Let me show you. There's it. Okay. So this is what we want to achieve at the end of the day. Don't worry about it. Don't be intimidated with this. It's very simple. So this is what we want to do at the end of the day. We want to get this done. So now let's start. So the name of the school. Let me open the new sheet. So I put the name of the school. Let's say Baptist College. And the class is XX3. SS3A. So you can put the name of the teacher, maybe Mr. Julius. So you have the name as the name of the teacher. And now you have their matric number. Now, this is the first So I want to bold this. So this is the first new thing you need to learn under this gradebook project. So let me name my sheet. The first sheet here, this is the payroll. So what I just did was to double click on the sheet. So payroll 1, and this is for payroll 2, and this is gradebook. For the gradebook project I want to start. Okay. Now their matric number. So the first matric number is 001. Now pay attention to what will happen now. As soon as I press enter to go to the next line, because Excel is reading it as a number, Excel will automatically remove the first 2 zeros in front. But I don't want that to happen. I want to show the matric number in 3 digits. So what will I do? I will convert that number from number to text. So the data type will be same as a text and not as a number. So what I will do now is I will re-enter it 001 and press my enter. As soon as I do that, I will go back to it and I will come here, click this the drop down button there, scroll down and type and click on test. Then you can now type 001 again. So this time around, it will not show you, it will not remove that number. Let me do it again in case you did not get it. I want the information I will be entering here to be number, because if I type 001 and I press enter, it will return just 1. But I want it to be 001. So what I will do is I will click the cell, come here, change that cell to test. Then I will now press 001 and press enter. So it will not remove the number. Do we get that?
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
are we still with me?
yes.
Okay. Yes, you get it. Good. Now I don't need to be typing 002, press enter 003. I will be having issues with trying to change my cell to test. So what I will just do is the way we have been copying, that's the same thing I will do. And Excel is very sensitive in some ways. So Excel will understand that as soon as I copy down, what I'm trying to do is to count the number down. So you can see Excel has automatically known that what I want is 002, 003, 004, up to 020. So that's one thing about Excel. To some extent, Excel can try to figure out what you are trying to do. So that's their matric number and their names. So the names of my students, we put in their names here. So to save my time, I will just copy their names. So let me go to my payroll. Okay, no, not this one. Here's it. Gradebook. So these are the names. I will just copy these names just to save my time. Control C. And I will come to my, I'll paste. Now I can expand this. So the next thing I want to teach us now is what we call text to column function. Text to column function. So I will put in first name. And I will tell us the scenario where we will need something like this. Our day-to-day activity at our place of work. So let's say you ask some people to enter some data for you, and when they are entering the names, what they did was just to enter the names together in one column. But what you want is you want to separate the names into first name, last name, so different column for each of them. So that's where the function text to column comes in. So this text to column, this is what we want to do now. So now let's do that. How do we separate Ajala Festus into each of these columns so that The first name will be Ajala. The second name will be Festus. And I don't want to be typing it one after the other. I will now type Ajala here, type Festus, type Arema, type Folake, type Ijoma, type Adimtu. That's a waste of time. So what I will just do now is I will select what I have here. As soon as I've selected it, I will come to my data tab. Data tab. You can see data. Before we are on home tab, I will move to data tab. These are advanced Excel tutorials, so just watch it and I believe you will get it. So you click on data and you will see text to columns under data tools group. So just click on text to columns. As soon as you do that, another wizard will come up and you will be asked, what do you want to use? Is it delimited you want to use or fixed width? Make use of delimited for now. Later, I will explain the other one, but for now, we are making use of delimited. And what does delimited do? Characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. That is, on your field that you have here, what separates them is either comma or tab or space bar or something like that. So you click on next, then you can pick the character now. Our own character here that separates the two names is space bar, that is a space. So if it is a comma, you can just click on tab. Or if it is a tab, if it's a semicolon, based on the character that separates them. But for now, the character that separates them here is space. And as soon as I click on space, you will see that a line has been drawn, showing to use that this is what will happen, the separation that will occur. Then I can click on next. Now, where did I want to enter them? Where did I want to enter this information? So destination, you can see destination here. Destination. Don't worry about the column data format. You can change it if you're actually dealing with something like date, test, but now just leave it on general. It's not something that matters for now. So on destination, you click this button here. As soon as you click it, you will have the option to copy your destination. So my destination is from this side to this side, down to this side. So that's the range of the destination. And you can see it as shown here. That is from C5, this is C5, to D24. This is D24. Then I can open this thing again and click on finish. You can see the range has entered here. I can now click on finish. So automatically the names will be there. Now, this is a little bit complex. Do we get it? Let me know if you get it. Or I should take it again.
Please, can you just start from that, clicking that data again? I didn't see what. Thank you.
Okay. So I will do that now. Okay. So what we did is, the first thing is make sure you select the ones you want to separate into columns, the text you want to separate into columns. Then go to data, click on text to columns, make use of delimited, click on next, pick your delimited delimiter, click on your delimiter. The delimiter we want to use is space. That is, what is separating them is a space. So I click on space. You can see it has given you the division line. Then click on next. As soon as you click on next, the next thing will be to pick your destination. So the destination is, click on this, where you have this red arrow and something like that. Click on it, then come to your Excel sheet, click and select the range up to the last one here, release it, come back here, you will see that the range has changed based on what you selected, and click on finish, and that's it.
Thank you.
So you can test it again by the time you are doing your own trial. You will surely get it. That's how it is done. And I believe since we are recording this class, am I right?
Yes, we are recording it.
Okay, so you can watch it again. You will get it. It's very simple. So now I've separated their names into first name and last name. So if I like, I can delete this cell now because I don't need it again. So I will just right click. Oh, sorry, I did not tell us what I did. So I selected from names here. I selected down, or I can just come to letter B, click on letter B. It will select the whole column. Then I can right click now and press delete. So the meaning of that is it will delete that column because I don't need that column again. So now I have my first name and last name. So the next thing is to enter my subjects. So the first subject is mathematics. Let me enter it at the top because I will need mathematics. Then you press your tab to move to the next column, English, and continue like that. So to save my time, I will copy the other subject to it. But I need to show us something. I want this mathematics. I want to change the way they are showing. I don't want it to be showing horizontally like this. So to save my sheet space, I want mathematics to be showing vertically together with English and all other ones. So what you will do is select it, come to your orientation here. I want to change the orientation. Just click on the drop down button and pick your orientation. So what I want is rotate text up. So that's how I get this. Should I do that again?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right. So let me do it again. I will come to under alignment. Click this drop down button beside that orientation. Then click rotate text up. And that's it. So mathematics will be facing up, English is facing up. So I want it to be like that. I'm just using that so that you can make it horizontal, but this is just to show us another function or another tool in Excel. So I will just copy the other ones to save my time. So I will copy from physics to chemistry and language. I'll come to my book and I'll paste here. So now I will just bold these ones so that it can look like the other ones. So I have physics, chemistry, biology, economics, and all other ones. Then there are marks obtainable. The marks obtainable. So for mathematics, the total marks obtainable is 100. And for English is 100. For physics is 100. For chemistry is also 100. For biology is 100. And for economics, the total marks obtainable is 70. Total marks obtainable for CRS is 70. Total marks obtainable for civic education is 70. And for language is 50. All right. So now, after the exam has been carried out and their result has been graded, these are the scores that each of them have. So I will fill in the scores now. So let me just copy and fill in the scores. Okay. Before I copy it, let me remove this conditional formatting so that I will not copy the formatting with it. So I just want to copy their scores based on each of them. So, you know, when you are the class teacher, you will have the score. So you can just enter the score normally. But for now, to save my time, I will just copy their score. So the score of the students, I will just paste it. So for mathematics, Ajala Festus scored 89. In English, he scored 84. In physics, he scored 66. In chemistry, he scored 56, and so on like that. The same thing for other students. I believe we understand that is a normal number you will have as the class teacher. So now, what are some things you like to do as a teacher? You will want to do. So number one, you want to calculate their percentage score. And the reason for that is you will notice that some of the subjects, the mark obtainable is 70. So not all the subjects have their marks obtainable to be up to 100. But you want to ensure that all the percentages, all the scores are in percentage so that everyone, every subject, all the subjects will be in 100%. So that means you need to do their percentage score. I believe you get that. So we want to calculate.
Please let's respond though. If you are not getting it, you respond so that you will be put in order. We are really getting value from here.
So now I want to calculate their percentage score. And I've told us why I'm doing that. The essence of that is there are some scores here, economics, CRS, civic, language, that the total marks obtainable is not up to 100. So in my calculation, there will be some issues. So I want all these subjects to be at 100% score. So that means we have to make use of percentage score. Now, normally in schools, all the subjects will have the same marks obtainable. So most times, everything will be 100 because we have your CA, we have your exam, and the total will be 100. But the reason why I have to bring this up is because I want us to see how to make use of percentage in Excel. Do you get it? So that in case you might have reasons to calculate percentages. So that's why we want to do percentage score now. So the first thing I will do is, let me copy the subject again and paste it. So I've done that, and let me move my sheets so that we can see it. So this is for the subject. So what is the percentage score that each of them get for each of the subjects? So let's start from mathematics. So for Festus, in mathematics, he has 89. How do I calculate his percentage score? So what would be the percentage score for Festus in mathematics? And that is simple. That would be 89 divided by, that is the score that Festus has, divided by the total marks obtainable times 100. You get, that is times 100. And that would be in percentage score. So that's normal, simple mathematics. The meaning of that is, if Festus score 100, and you divide it by 100, that would be 1. Multiply by 100, that would be 100. So at the end of the day, that means Festus will be having 100%. So it's called 100, 100. If you come here now, if Festus scores 70, and you divide 70 by 70, that is 70, the score, divided by the total marks obtainable, that will give you 1, multiply by 100. So at the end of the day, you will still be scoring 100%. Do you get it? So at the end of the day, we will ensure that all the marks obtainable are in percentage, in 100% percentage. So that will make it fair enough for all the students. So let's do that now. What's the formula now? The formula will be equal to the score that Festus are in mathematics. Oh, I'm entering it in the wrong cell. The cell should be this. This is the first cell. So make sure you always pay attention to that. So this should be the first cell. So equal to the score that Festus have divided by the total marks obtainable. Do you get that? Good. And you press your enter. Thank you. So now in Excel, you don't need to put multiply by 100 again, because Excel has a percentage, it has its own percentage symbol or percentage function. So what you just need to give Excel is just give Excel the normal calculation and forget about multiply by 100. As soon as you press the percentage function, Excel will know that you want to make it multiply by 100. So the next thing I will just do now is press enter. Now, it's giving me in decimal place. So don't forget, we want it to be percentage. So just come under number and press this percentage symbol. So Excel has understood now that what you want to do is multiply by 100. So that is 89%. Do we get that, or I should do it again?
Yes, I got it, sir.
Please do it again. Yes.
All right, so let me do it again. So the formula again is equal to, that is, you are activating formula in Excel, equal to the total score, that is the score of that, the score that Festus had in mathematics, the score, divided by, so you press the slash button on your keyboard, divided by the total marks obtainable, that is 100. You click it. So that is your formula, and you press enter. Now, because I have already clicked the percentage option before, that was why it's automatically turned into. So let me do it on another sheet so that you will see it in decimal. So equal to sign, and this is for English now. This is for English. So equal to sign, the score Festus have in English, you've seen it, divided by total marks obtainable. I'll press enter. So you can see it comes out as a decimal. So now what you will do is click it and click on your percentage. So it will convert it to percentage automatically. Do we get that?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
All right. So now what I can do now is to calculate the percentage for each of these guys. For their mathematics, I just need to copy down. So I don't need to be doing it one after the other. Excel will understand what I want to achieve. So now, if you look at this third value, this adding do, the guy has 76, and Excel is returning 113%. So that means this calculation is wrong. Because how will someone have more than 100%? You shouldn't have more than 100%. But why is he having more than 100%? So we want to confirm what is going on. So I will double click. As soon as I double click, you can see what Excel is actually doing. What Excel is doing is that Excel is using the score of Injoma Adimdu in mathematics, is dividing it by the score of Folake. But what I want is the score of Adindu should be divided by the total marks obtainable. So in Excel, we call this relative referencing error. So you can see it, I wrote it here, relative reference error. So that is what we call relative referencing error in Excel. So to prevent such a thing in your calculation, anytime such a thing shows up, you have to do what we call absolute referencing. So I'm going to delete everything I have here. And in my formula, I'm going to insert absolute referencing in my formula. So let's firstly put, okay, let me do it like this. Let me just delete one, make it easier for me to explain. So let me double click this. So this is the initial formula. The score divided by the total marks obtainable. But I want it to be absolute referencing. The meaning of that is anytime Excel is picking their score, you must be dividing it by what you have here, the total marks obtainable, what you have on D4. So what I will just do is, in Excel, to carry out absolute referencing, you will put the $ in front of the number you want to be referenced every time, the row you want to reference every time. So anytime this thing is being carried out, I want to be referencing this cell D4 every time. So I will just put a $. I will insert $ in front of D4. So anytime the calculation is being carried out, Excel will be coming to reference this cell D4. Please, do you understand what I'm trying to explain?
No, sir, I'm so sorry. I don't.
No. All right. Let me explain it again. So okay, let me remove the dollar sign. Sorry. Let me press enter. Let me copy down. So what I'm trying to do is, we noticed that there was some error in our calculation. Instead of Excel giving us the perfect calculation, we notice some of the students are having more than 100%. And you will agree with me that there is no way someone should be scoring more than 100%. So why are we having this error? If you double click on the error, you will find the problem you are facing, or that the Excel is facing. And the problem is that Excel is actually referencing the score above the real score. The score is 76. Normally, the formula should be 76 divided by 100. But what Excel is doing is 76 divided by 67. That is because the first formula here is doing 89 divided by 100. So what Excel is thinking is that the next one will also be this one divided by the one on top. Then this one also will be this one divided by the one on top. You get it? So Excel is just carrying out what we call relative referencing. It is using the cell at the top to divide the one below. But that is not what we want to do. What we want to do is that the score should continue to be divided by the total marks obtainable, this cell. So we have to use what we know as absolute referencing. So I will delete this cell. I will open up my formula again. And to do absolute referencing, you just need to put a dollar sign in front of that cell that you want to ask Excel to continue to reference. So on your keyboard, just press Shift and number 4. That is your dollar sign. It will come up. Now, this dollar sign doesn't interpret the cell as a currency. You will notice that you can't even click the dollar sign now currently, because you are working on a formula here. You can't click the dollar sign. So it's not possible to enter the dollar sign. So it doesn't mean that this is dollar. No. What it means is you are absolutely referencing this particular cell. So anytime Excel is doing the calculation, Excel will be referencing this particular cell. So then you will now press enter. Do we get that? So if I copy it down
Yes,
now, good. If I copy it down now, I should not be having that problem. If I'm still having it, then that means my absolute referencing is wrong. So now you can still see Excel still continues to be referencing, to be doing that relative referencing error. So what's the problem we are having here? The problem is that when I carried out the absolute referencing, I actually put the dollar sign in front of D. Whereas what I should tell Excel to do is, it should be this row 4, row 4. So I intentionally do that because you can actually run into that error. So I intentionally put it in front of D so that we can see that error also. So what you need to do is, your dollar sign must be inserted. So I've deleted it. It must be inserted in front of letter 4. That is, it must be row 4. Do we get it now? Do we get that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now I can now copy down and my calculation should be correct now. You can see. So now nobody is having less than, is having more than 100%. And if I double click on any of the formula, you will notice that Excel is referencing the first row. You can see it's referencing the 100. If I click this, it's dividing 86 by 100. If I click this also, 78 is dividing 78 by 100, because I have put the dollar sign in front of row 4. That is number 4. So that is how to calculate your percentage score or percentage in Excel. So now what I can do is I can go ahead. Now, another way to copy and paste, I don't need to do the same thing for English, do the same thing for physics, do the same thing for chemistry. I can just select all this and I can move it to the other side. Let's firstly do for English so that you can see it. So by the time I do it for English, it has automatically known what I want to achieve. So if I double click the sign, the option, you will notice that it's actually referencing English. If I double click this, sorry, if I double click any of the other formula, you can see it's referencing the correct row and it's getting this option for me. So that's Excel. Excel has that ability to know what you want to do. So I can just copy all the way to the end and it will give me the right result. So let me just select this and.
Please excuse me, I have a question.
All right, okay.
The question I want to ask, the percentage sign that is at the front of those numbers, are they automatic, or you, as maybe as you use the formula, you just the sign will be added automatically, or should it be that there's something you did that the thing is bringing in the form, the sign, the percentage sign?
Okay. Okay. So what actually led to the percentage sign is because we have turned, how should I explain it? Okay, let me use an empty box. So normally, if I just use the formula straight, the formula for physics, let me go to physics. So the formula normally should be equal to the number of score in physics divided by the total marks obtainable, and I press enter. You will notice that what returns is a decimal number. So what we did was that we click the percentage sign. So when we click the percentage sign under number group, it turns it automatically to percentage. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you. It's
Good.
okay.
Yes. So I don't want to do my calculation for each of these one after the other. So I want to just copy it straight because Excel can actually carry out what I want to do. It knows what the Excel can guess what I want to achieve. So as soon as I copy it to the other ones, it will automatically calculate it on its own. And you can check. Let me check for language now. I can double click this. You can see it's actually dividing 45 by 50 and it's multiplying it by 100 to get 90%. So now you can now see that all your scores are now in 100% as the highest score that any student can have in any of the subjects. So that is all about calculating your percentage score. So now let's do some conditional formatting. Let's make some sense out of these results. But before we do that, let's still bring back our normal maximum, minimum, and average. So let me use this option here. So I want to get my maximum, minimum, and average. So I want to know the student with the highest score. What is the highest score in the class? That's the maximum score. So just as we know in the first lesson, you press your equal to sign and you type in your marks, open bracket, then you give Excel the range. So this is the range for my mathematics. I will close the bracket and I will press enter. So Excel is telling me that the person with the 90% score has the highest score in the class. So this is 90%. In fact, if you are dealing with a large data set, you might not easily see that 90. So I will show you how you can easily identify top score, things like that. But for now, we know that the highest score in mathematics is 90%. And if you don't want to use your percentage, maybe probably what you want to use is your normal score. So what you just need to do is you can copy what you have here since the formula is already there, and you can paste it here, what Excel will return is, it will return the number. But now Excel is making an error here. Excel is trying to, because you copy a percentage score. So what I want to tell Excel is, no, this is not a percentage score. This is just an ordinary number. So I will just come here and I will turn it to general number. So now Excel has identified that this one is no longer percentage, it's now a general number. So, but we want to be dealing with percentage now. So let's forget about this. I'm just trying to use that to show us if you want to use your normal. So that's the maximum score that the student scored in mathematics. So what's the minimum score? Use your formula and press minimum, open your bracket, and what is the next thing you will do? You will give Excel the range, and you close your bracket and you press enter. So it will return the minimum. So that means the minimum score is 33%. And what's the average score for the student in the class? So I will press equal to average, open my bracket, I will give Excel the range and close it and press enter. So that's the average score. So I can do the same thing for all the subjects by firstly copying, you will select the formula, select it like this, and copy it to the right by clicking that dot and copy to the right. So automatically you will get for each subject. So that's the scores for based on maximum value, maximum score, minimum score, average score. So now what else can we do with this grade book? How do we know the performance of the students? How can we easily know the performance of the students at a glance per each subject? So now we will be introducing us to what we call conditional formatting. So that's the next thing we want to look at now, conditional formatting. So looking at this Excel now, looking at this spreadsheet, I cannot easily identify the guy that is performing well because I'm just saying numbers. It's not passing any message easily to me. So that's where your conditional formatting comes in. So let's start with maybe mathematics. Let's see the guys that performed very well in mathematics based on their scores and the ones that doesn't perform well. So how do you do that? Just select the column you want to start with, or you select based on the score. Anyone you want to do. You can select the score. So it's actually preferable you select based on score so that you won't run into any error. So I've selected the score. And now you will go to, still on your home tab, you will see conditional formatting. So I will start with icon set. And under icon set, I have something here that we call just like a traffic light. So you can pick anyone. As you are picking it, you'll be seeing it changing here. So I want to use this traffic light because I just love it. It makes it easier to understand the scores. And I will click it. So as soon as I did that, you will notice that I have green, yellow, red, and black. Green are for the people, the students that perform very well, that are in the excellence level. Then yellow is for students that are in the good level. The red are for students that are averagely okay. And for the black guys, those ones, they need help with mathematics. Do we understand that conditional formatting?
Yes, sir. I do.
Good.
No, please, can we go back to the conditional
Okay.
formatting?
All right, let me do it again.
Thank you.
Yes. So the first thing you need to do is select the range for the format. That is, I'm starting from the first score, that's down to the last score. So I want to quickly identify the guys that perform very well and the ones that perform poorly, that need help. So I will go to, after selecting the range, go to under style group on your home page, on your home tab, under styles group, just click on conditional formatting, come to icon set, then pick anyone you want that can pass the message you want to pass. So based on the message I want to pass, I want to know the guys that are performing excellently well the guys that are performing at a okay level, that is, they are still good, the ones that are performing averagely, and the ones that are performing woefully. So those ones, they need help with that course. So I can use this particular icon shapes, or I can use this one, this 4-1, or I can use this. So I just want to go with this. It's easy for me to read that. You can pick any one that is okay for you. So with that, all these green ones now, you can see they have up to more than 70. This is 90, 87, 76. This is 76, 89. But for the guys in yellow, those ones are good. So they have 60 something. The guys in red, they are averagely okay. But the guys in black, those ones, they need help. So Abe George really need help with mathematics because he failed. Then Alex Pato may also need help with mathematics. So I can easily identify the guys that are doing poorly in math. So the same thing, I can do the same thing for English. So I just need to select it and come to my conditional format, come to my icon set and pick that thing again. Now, you can, instead of having to select one after the other, going to conditional formatting, picking the icon set, doing it like this. If you are dealing with a large data set, that might be a waste of time. So what you just need to do is, firstly, pay attention to the range. Please make sure you listen now. Pay attention to the range. The range for each of these courses here, up to biology, the highest range is 100. Am I right? You can see it's 100 here. So that means,
Yes, sir.
good. So that means the same format I use for mathematics, English, physics, I can copy it to chemistry and biology. It will work. But if you copy it to economics, it will not work. The reason is because the range, the highest score obtainable here is 70. So if I copied the format I use for biology into economics here, even this guy that scored 56 here, it will be getting a yellow icon because of what? The range I'm using here is about 100, but the range here should be at 70. So what I will just do is, I will select this. I will come to my format painter. You remember that format painter?
Yes.
That means you want to copy the format here. Then I will select the one that is still under the 100 range. I will select both of them and leave it. So it will give me the right one. But if I try that with 70, let me show you. Let's say I try that with 70. Let me just select one of them. I copy the format painter and I try that with 70 here. You will see what will go happen. You will notice that guys that have 54 are returning with yellow. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they ought to be getting 0. They ought to be yellow because 56 is still very close to 70. So I can't ascertain that this format is actually correct. So what I will do now is I will do another conditional formatting for the 70 guys. Oh, sorry, I make a mistake there. I will do another conditional formatting for the 70 guys and see what that would be. So you can see 56 is still returning as 0, as yellow. 67 is returning as green. That's good. And it's better you have it like that. So you do the same thing. You can copy this one now for all the 70 guys. It will give you the same thing. But don't do that for the 50 guys. If you do it for this 50, you might end up in an error. Let's try it if it works. So I will copy it and I will paste it at 50. So as I'm saying this, I think it works. So sometimes it might not work like that. You might notice that it's giving you red for 45 or even giving you black, which is not true because someone that scored 45 over 50 should be green. So this is correct. And I think we are good to go with that. So that is conditional formatting. That's one conditional formatting. There are many conditional formatting, and I will introduce us to more of it now. So let's come to this percentage side. let's see some conditional formatting we can do here. So based on percentages, I want to see, okay, in mathematics, which students perform best, and who are my top 3 students in mathematics, and who are my top the 3 students that are not performing well. So let's do that with a conditional formatting. So I will select the range as we are doing, and I will come you can do that from your normal score also. So I just use that so that I can have more data to work with. So using the percentage now, conditional formatting, I want to see who are my top students based on their scores. So let's do that now. So now I will look at top 10 items. Click these top 10 items, and I will now change it to top 3. Instead of 10, it will be 3. So I want to select the top 3 items, and I want to change the color to green. So my top 3 items will be highlighted in green, and I press OK. So as soon as I look at mathematics, I've seen my top 3 students. This guy here, and this guy here. Do we understand what I just did?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. So if I want to look at the data to see the last 3 students, I can still select it again, come to my conditional formatting, under top and bottom rules, pick the bottom 10 items, change it to 3 because we want to look at the last 3 students, and leave that one as red, and I will press OK. So with that, I can see the last 3 students. So the reason for having more than 3 is because we have some students that actually have the same scores. So we have 33% is the lowest, followed by 44%, and the last 3 is 54%. So that's for mathematics. So I can do the same for other subjects. So what I will just do is, since everything is in percentages, I should be able to copy my formatting. Let's see if it works. So I will do my format painter, and I will copy to the other ones. Now it doesn't work. You know why? It's not working because it's using the range. You know, the range we have here is between, let's say, okay, between 90% to 33%. So that's the maximum and that's the lowest. And that is not the same range that works for all other ones. The range for English now, for instance, is 89% to 45%. So that means if you use your format printer trying to copy what you have here to this, it will not work. So you have to do it for each of the subject because you have different range you are dealing with. So to save yourself of errors, anytime you are using conditional formatting, make sure the range are actually the same if you want to be copying. So my top 10, top 3 in green, and I press OK. Then I will repeat that for bottom 3 and that's red. Okay. So you can repeat the same thing for all of that cells. So to save my time, I will not do that. So now I want to calculate the total score so that I can know my best students and I can know, okay, let's also do another kind of formatting. So I want to know of all these subjects, in each of the subjects, how many students perform score above 50%, and how many of these students score below 30%. So let's use physics as an example. So let's say I want to know all the students that score above 50%. So I will select my physics. I will come to conditional formatting. I will come to highlight set cells rules, and I will come to greater than. So I want to see someone that scores above 50%. 50%. So any student that score above 50%, I want to highlight them in green, and I'll press OK. So you can see the students that are scoring above 50% at a glance. So these guys here, they are scoring below 50%. So they need help. So let's say, for instance, I want to know the student in biology that actually failed the course. So I will just select it. I will come to conditional formatting, align cell rules. I will look at less than, and I will say maybe in our school, if you score less than 40%, you failed. So I will put 40 and I will put the percentage and I will press OK. So this guy here that have 35, so that's the guy with this row 12. I can scroll to the left to see his name. Badmus Vincent actually failed biology. This other guy here failed biology, and this other guy here failed biology. So can you see the essence of all this conditional formatting now? Okay, so let's go to,
Yes.
thank you. So now let's calculate their total score so that I can know my best student at the end of the day. And we also look at the true or false function. So I can easily determine the students that will receipt the exam and the one that will not have to receipt the exam. Okay. So let's do the total score. So now the total score will normally be the total of all the scores here, and it shouldn't be more than 900. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 subjects here. So if everybody score 100%, it will be 900%. That will be 900. So you can't score more than 900 as the total score. So let's see the total score for each of these students. So I just need to use my formula equal to, this time around, I can't be using the plus function. It would waste my time. So I will just use the sum function. SUM, open my bracket, then I will select the range. So you can see we are using the horizontal range this time around because we want to select all the scores for this guy, the first guy, and I will press enter. So now, so now the total score for the first student, Ajala Festus, is 710. So let's see the total score for all other students. I will just copy it down. So normally Excel will do that perfectly for me. So if I click it to check the formula, you can see what Excel is adding together. If I click this, I can see what Excel is adding together. So these are the scores, the total score for each of the students. Now, I want to know the students, my top 3 students. Or I can firstly start with maybe the best students. Okay, let me just use the top 3 students in the class based on their total score. So you select everything, come to conditional formatting, come to top 10 items, change it to 3, make it green. Green always shows something positive. So that's why I'm using green. So, okay. So I can see now that 710, 646, 643, they are my top 3 students. So at the end of the day, the first guy is my best student, followed by this guy here, followed by the one here. So these are my top 3 students. So let me see the 3 students that are not doing well. So let's look at the bottom 3. Okay. So these are the 3 guys that are not doing well and they need help. So this one scored 562%, 547, 581%. So this guy here needs help because they are not doing well. Now, we want to see which of these students we need to retake any of the subjects here. In our school, we have a rule. If you score less than 40% in any of the subjects, you will retake that course. So which of these students we have to retake the course? So that's what we want to do now. Which of these students we need to retake this course? So what is the formula we will give Excel to calculate that? So this will introduce us to another formula in Excel. And this is the OR formula. So let me go to my PowerPoint. Okay, I did not even include it here. So let me put it here so that we can know it. We can refer to it again. We want to use the OR functions. And I will explain what the OR functions means now. Now, we want to know who will retake this exam. And I don't want to be looking at the data one after the other. And don't forget, I said the rule is that anybody that scores less than 40% in any of the subjects, the person will retake that particular exam. So I want to know which of the students have that problem that will take the exam, that will have to retake the exam. So anytime Excel is giving me true, that means the person will retake. And if Excel is saying my statement is false, that means that person will not retake. And I will show you what we are saying. So let's enter equal to OR, that is OR. And I will open my bracket. And I will enter my first logical statement. So I will say, if mathematics, I click on mathematics score. Please pay attention now. I click on mathematics score. If it is less than 40%, so Excel will check if it is less than 40%. Then I will press my comma again. Check it again. Is English less than 40%? I will put 40 again. I'll press comma. Check again. Is physics less than 40%? So I'll click on physics less than 40. So check again. Is chemistry less than 40%? I believe we are following me. So check again. Is biology less than 40%? I will put my comma. Check again. Is economics less than 40%? So that's how the OR function works. The OR function, OR function. Then check again if CRS is less than 40. That means if the students score less than 40. I'll put my comma. Then check if it score less than 40 in civic education. Comma. Check if it score less than 40% in language. And I will close my bracket because that's the end of my subject. And I will press enter. See what Excel will do now. So Excel is telling me that, yes, this guy, for all my statements, where I said, the guy should check if I have my score. If any of this score is less than 40. Now, I'm saying something, I'm coming. Let me confirm something. Yes, I know this is not correct because that should not be true. So what I should get should be false for the first guy, because at least I can see it with my eye that the guy did not score anything less than 40 on any of the subjects. So let me see what happened with my, sorry, let me delete clear content. Let me do it again. So I made a mistake in that. So we open our OR function again. Equal to OR. So check whether any of the arguments are true and returns true or false. Return false only if all arguments returns false only if all arguments are false. Okay, so let's go on. So we want to, that is the logical statement. And I will press this. So you will check this if it is. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Less than 40. That's 40%. We don't need to put 40. We don't need to put the percentage sign. Excel already understand what we mean. Comma. Get this. Less than 40. Okay, let me save my time. Let me look at my previous formula. Let me see where I got it wrong. So let me see if I can return that. Okay. Okay. Let me see what is going wrong here. So this is less than 40. Less than 40. Okay, we check this correctly. I believe this should be right. What's going on? Okay, I need to confirm some things now. I'm seeing some guys that their results ought to come out as false. Okay, I will get it now. Let me do a quick troubleshooting. Okay, yes. So I'm the one that is not understanding I got the information Excel is giving me wrong. Okay. So what Excel is actually doing for me is Excel wants to return true anytime any of the information is accepted. But if the information is, if you find any of it where the information is wrong, unless all the information is wrong, that is when Excel is returning false. So what I will do now is, in order for me to know the guys that we need to retake the exam, I will use my conditional formatting and I will look through each of the subjects. So for instance, okay, I've done some formatting here. Let me do it like this. Let me remove, I think we understand all the formatting we did here. So let me remove all the formatting I have here. So to remove the formatting, come to conditional format, icon set, sorry, clear rules from selected set. So I will do that for all the set. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. I just want to use my format printer easily. So I've cleared all the rules now. Okay. So now let's do it like this. Sorry. Both. Okay. So now let's use conditional formatting and let's get the rule correctly. So anybody that's scored less than 40, we have to retake the test. What happened here? Conditional formatting less than 40. Okay, 40%. I forgot to enter 40%. Why? Conditional formatting. Less than. Format cells that are less than 40%. Okay, let me see what's going on. Green, okay. Let me delete the format we have here. Let me firstly clear this row. Clear row selected, good. So now let's go again. Top bottom row, no, highlight cell row, less than, now it's working now, 40. Good. Okay, so I've known that in mathematics now, the guy here will retake the test. So I already know that one. So this is true. Then I can repeat the same thing for English, the same thing for mathematics. Now, we want to complete this aspect of the project by looking at the total marks. Okay, I've done the total marks, sorry. Let's go to charts. So how do we plot charts and graphs? So that's what I want to do now. To plot charts and graphs. And probably that's where we'll be stopping. So let's go and plot charts. And let's plot some graph now. So how do you turn? So let's start with mathematics. So under mathematics, I want to plot. You firstly select the range. You come to insert. And under charts, you pick any of the charts you want. So I want to select this particular chart. I'll click it. So as soon as you click it, more styling option will come up. So you can pick any styling option you want to pick. But to make it easier, I will just pick the normal one that comes with it. So let me just use the normal styling. So this is the normal styling, and I will drag this one down. So I want to take it away from my table. So that's chart. Should I do this again or we understand it?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
So don't worry, I will stop at the end of this one.
I do.
Because I know we are tired already.
Yeah,
So maybe
I
next time
understand this one.
together. We're still together.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So now, since we have gotten the chart, let's rename the chart. So the chart here, just double click on the chart title and name it as mathematics. So that's my mathematics. And the next thing we need to do is, we don't want to be seeing numbers. We want it to show the names of the students. So we want it to show either Ajala, Rema, or either their first name or the last name. So how do we do that? You just need to right click on the chart, click on select data, and click on this edit, the right one, the one by the horizontal axis labels. So we are okay with the legend entries, but we are not okay with the horizontal axis. So edit it. So you have to enter your cell range. So you can just come to your sheet and select the range based on the names you want to use. You can see automatically it has been included, and you will now press OK. Press OK again. So if you go to your chart now, you should see the names of the students based on the chart. There are so many other things you can do with this chart. You can click this plus sign. you can show their labels, that is the score. If you don't want to show it, you can hide it. Do we get how I change the numbers to names? Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, good. So now let's plot another kind of chart. So this is just for bar charts. So there are so many types of charts you can plot. Let's go to English, select the range of the score, come to insert. Then this time around, let's use a line chart. So you can see how it looks like. I can use this dotted one based on any one you like. So let me use this. And I can bring my chart down. This is what we call data visualization. So especially when you are dealing with huge data. So you might not really want to be looking at numbers. So you just want to see the progress. You want to see the progress of, especially, let's say this is a sales inventory now. So you want to see the progress of your sale easily. You want to know whether the sale is going up or it's coming down. So with charts, you can easily see it. With a chart like this, you can easily see the progress of the whole thing. So this is my English. And I want to change it to the name of the student. Select data, edit. So it's asking me for the range. So I will go to my range now. The first name. Press OK. Press OK. So now the range, the names are there now. Now, and you can try out all of that charts. That is still the same process. So let me go to my PowerPoint. Let me see if I have concluded everything on project 2. So I have done that. So we cannot go to project 3 and project 4 today. So maybe next time we will do that. So thank you for having me. I think this is the best place to stop, because if we do more than this, we might not be able to comprehend again. So we can go and try out all these ones, and maybe next time we can continue with the other projects. So for now, let me just summarize everything we have done. So we have been able to create a payroll, and by creating the payroll, we have used the following function, the multiplication function, maximum, minimum, average, sum, the if function, the absolute reference, the copy and paste. Through that, we have learned some basic mathematics on Excel and how to do some basic conditional statement. Like this if statement now is a conditional formula. And we moved to project 2, where we were able to see other functions like percentages, relative referencing error, and how to correct that. Then we carried out some conditional formatting. We insert graphs, we edit our graph, we do text to column, and we make use of the or. Okay, we decided not to use the or function because it's not giving us what we want. But maybe we will have a particular problem in the next, if there is a next class, where we are going to use this function. So far, these are the things we have been able to achieve today. So we have been able to use Excel to carry out 2 projects, a payroll project and a gradebook project. So how do you save your work in Excel? So it's very simple. Just come to File and click on Save. So you can go to your computer and pick anywhere you want to save the work. So then I will just click class workbook. So this is the class workbook, and I will save it. So as soon as that is done, the title will have been changed. As you can see, it's now class workbook Excel. Now Another thing is, how do you print? So let's say I want to print this payroll, because this is another thing that can be challenging in Excel. So how do you print in Excel? You come to File, you come to Print, and now, because of the current sheet I'm using, I can see all the data in it. So let's use a wider sheet. Let's use a sheet that is a little bit big, like this sheet here now. So let's go to File, let's go to Print, and let me pick my paper. So my paper is letter. I want to print on an A4 sheet. Now, as soon as I change to A4, you can notice that I'm no longer seeing all the elements, all the items. Some items has been cut off to the next sheet. So I want to print on just one sheet. There are two ways to do that. The first way is to change the orientation. So come to orientation, under portrait here, change it to landscape. So as soon as you change it to landscape, you can see all the information at once. Are we still with me?
Yes, sir.
Good. So
Yes,
you can
we
see
are.
all the, thank you. You can see all the information at once.
Yes, I
And
am.
thank you. So you can just go ahead, and because this works now, so you can just go ahead and press print. Now, in a situation where, let me see if we have a particular sheet that is wide. This one is a very wide sheet. So let's go to File. Let's go to Print. Show Print Preview. Now, this is a very wide sheet. You will notice that the preview might take some time to show up. Good. So some subjects have been cut off. I don't want that to happen. So let me put it in my paper first. Paper is A4. And let me make my orientation to be landscape. Let's see if it will cover everything. It's still not showing everything, as you can see. It's adding my maps to the second page. So what I want to do is, I want everything to be on one page. So what you will do next is come to your scaling and pick fit all columns on one page, or fit sheet on one page. So I will just fit sheet on one page. So everything will enter one page. So everything I have on my sheet will be on one page, as you can see it. Then I can now go ahead and print. So that's how to set your printing in Excel, so that you will not have some things being cut off. But if you want to take it to different pages, then you might not bother about that. So thank you so much for your time. It has been a great time with us. I'm Ife Oluwa, so from After School Academy. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you so much.
Coming
It's so
on so much.
insightful. Well
We
done, sir.
appreciate
Thank
your
you so
training.
much.
We appreciate your training. We appreciate everyone that joined this call. So, I don't know how to thank you. In short, the training was very profound. I thank you once more, and I thank all our trainees. Please, for us to encourage our trainer, let's do well to be revisiting this thing that we have done, so that we get the knowledge. And if I think this training has not ended here, because you still have two options to give to us. So I think we need to have another class on this very training. Are you with me?
I'm with you, ma'am.
So when we are set, we'll call you again. In short, you're doing so much. I really enjoy your training. I don't know. I've been using Excel, but I've not gotten to this level that you have really made me to go deeper into it, and it's really interesting. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. We thank you so much. In short, you have done justice to the training. So we will invite you again when we are set. Thank you. Then for our
Thank you
trainees,
so much.
please, we encourage you to, as we recorded this training, I think we'll post it on our platform. You will now click on it to watch it and practice it on your own. Excel is
I'm
one
going
of
to send
the
the.
okay.
Oh, sorry. Say, I'm just saying I'm going to send the slide and the workbook that we used to you
thanks.
on WhatsApp also.
Thanks so much. That's nice. That's nice. So for our trainees, please do visit this thing. Go back and do it on your own. Excel is one of the highly demanded skills in the industry today. And if you know how to, just see what he did now, both how to illustrate it on the map. So let's try to do it. This is the only way we can help ourselves and become relevant as the goal of this platform. So thanks everyone for joining. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. It's not easy out of all your busy schedules, and you still have to create time to join this training. We appreciate all your time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ife. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. And I want to say bye for today. We have another time. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Word Babe. God bless you.
Thank you, our great and beautiful women. Thanks. Yes.
Interesting.